Boop. There we go. That looks better. That looks better. Whoa. These two little melodies there. I kind of figured I'd listen out for the little warm-ups and little beginnings of these little streams. I feel like doing little jams and little warm-ups would probably at least, be a good way to kind of fill the void instead of just like, alright, I'm shit, because I kind of already have shit set up, so better to have a little combo and shit than doing that, so. So I feel like at least a little song at least has a little something something. No, that's a song that that's on YouTube actually. I'm pretty sure it's like a little fair use song I could kind of jam over to. Though honestly, it's a lot more of a slower song. I kind of feel like I kind of prefer it if it was a little bit more like double timed, if anything, because it's more like because the song itself is just like. Very slow. It's just like we're pretty slow, but having it a little bit more upbeat, I feel like, kind of makes it more optimistic in a sense, because if it's being slow, it just kind of feels like a very, very, kind of almost like a somber ballad, more so than like an upbeat ballad. Talk of the Cuban CMC. Cuban sandwiches are a huge success. Oh, you should make your Cubans and it was good? That is good. Good, excellent. Yeah, just kind of figured that, at least for the start of these streams, it'd probably be, would behoove me to, kind of jam out a little bit. Yeah, at least for the starts of them. So I'm gonna try to start doing that a little bit more often. I used to do that when I was doing them on Twitch streams anyway. I usually kind of like jam for like 15-20 minutes. Snack Cracker Pop Rice Krispies. Goddamn. Goddamn. Oh, goddamn. Goddamn. Damn. How much am I going to be popping here? Fucking hell. How much am I popping here? Fuck. Ugh. There we go. Ugh. Alrighty. Man, today at work was fucking whack. Since I have a little interim period here. Also, kind of learned a couple things for work a little bit. Well, actually not like learned things, but just had to like deal with some shit and, you know, kind of heard some shit for the skull bub. And honestly, like the amount of people that are straight up getting like fucked up their wages is literally growing pretty much by like the week. Because during one of the last breaks that one of the PICs is doing, because he's closing with us as our third closer to kind of help us out, at least especially because it's a holiday week. And he came back all pissed off. And him and one of the other PICs was talking. It's like, yo, go to uni, man, and talk about that type of shit. And I was kind of like, what's going on? And and it's just, do I have a faint surprise at the news? No, you probably shouldn't. But yeah, and I'm just like, well, hey, I'm on the same boat, and you know, and he was saying, it's like, yeah, man, you know, it's like, they'll have to like, you know, pay back every penny of like, you know, whatever back penny shit's like. Well, hey, you know, honestly, like, I could probably put in a word too, you know, because I was already gonna go up there Friday, and he was just like, yeah, cool. So, because chances are they're probably not going to be available Thursday at all because Thanksgiving, but at least for Friday, you know, they'll probably be, you know, at least out and about, maybe at least at the offices or some shit. So, at least it's, you know, a little something. I could just kind of get that down a little bit. Does everyone to leave or something? It seems like they're just shorting everyone except the El Duce and like the higher ups and the corporate managers, and basically. And honestly, it's like I'm gonna kind of mention that, you know, it's like, hey, you know, it's basically like I feel like a lot of us are now basically having like a little targeted, like, you know, wages being stolen type of situation and shit, you know, not. You know, and it's just been growing more and more. And of course, at this rate, they can't just be excusing themselves of technical glitches, as they always like to fucking bitch and whine about that, how that's, you know, the main reason why they can't get the shit done. If that's the case, then hire fucking better IT workers or something. Hire better IT dudes. Or people that know how to deal with, like, software or some shit. Like, fuck, bro. Which, of course, I mean, it's not that's like the problem, because it isn't. It's just that they're purposely doing it, and that's just their excuse. So, and I mean, frankly, I mean, it isn't necessarily like a new thing from other companies. Like pretty much a lot of companies will do this. But Kroger's just the most, slash, like, Safeway officers, they're just the most egregious about it. I mean, like, basically, at least, like Albertsons was and shit, because none of these type of problems were nowhere near as a big issue, at least before the Albertsons Safeway merger. And now it seems like Curious How is becoming far more of a freaking problem now that Kroger and Albertsons are merging. I wonder why that could be. Because they want to, like, honestly, I guarantee it's because they want to make the new merger company, like, conglomerate itself, to have, like, record profits for its, like, first, like, profit margin as, like, a big, entity, essentially. And that this is part of how they're doing it, and they don't give a fuck. But luckily, at least, we have unions, at least, kind of working on us a little bit. I mean, they also have their hands full, just like, us being our staff at our fucking stores and shit. So, I mean, it's like, unfortunately, it's just like a major struggle we're all kind of having to, like, fucking deal with. But slowly but surely kind of seems like it's getting resolved, bit by bit. But, as long as people are willing to at least, make a little bit of a war about it, or at least, make sure that the reps know about it, and shit gets done. So, that's why I'm going Friday after Thanksgiving, because I have a day off. Yay! Yay! Okay, get played. Let's do something. Here, let's see, where I am. Make sure it's not too loud either for the Bluetooth. Oh yeah, but I'm pretty sure that'll be a little loud. There we go. That should probably be a good one. That tried to shorten the last store director, and that's why she left. Yeah, and honestly, frankly, I think, it's because anyone who's basically, like, store-level management or lower, and that includes store directors, they don't really care as much about. Like, they'll fucking, basically, unless you're, like, the most utmost, like, ass-kisser, basically, to corporate and shit, they're not gonna care, and they're gonna short you in some way, including, vacation pay or your outright wages. Like, frankly, I'm sure her wages were fucking spanking, honestly, but... the fact that that didn't correlate with her vacation, that's what she didn't like. And, I mean, which is honestly kind of, like, she's been store director for a while. It's just that she was, new at our store when she got there. And, honestly, I'm not necessarily too surprised that when they transfer and now, there's, like, logistical shit being worked out and stuff, that's when she got fucked. And honestly, I think that's probably how we were able to get away with doing that with her. Which is fucked. I mean, it shows that even when, like, managers, at least, or store director types, it's not like you get really cool, chill types and, chill people, but you're definitely going to get, ones that are going to be total ass kissers, and even then, they'll still get fucked. I mean, it's just, like, because, the fucking, it's like, because, the upper top, got theirs, why they won't want to worry about you? They just want to make sure that you do what they want. That's it. They just want to make sure that you're obedient. And shut up after that. release something this to mean Biden released a plan to bring late-stage capitalism to the moon. Oh no! Oh boy! What do we? What is like? How bad? How bad are we talking here? I mean, like, just pumping pipelines through left and right, frack going through, like, you know, and all that shit, like, you know, what we're talking about, you know. Yeah, it's like, I mean, you know, I mean, frankly, I really shouldn't be too surprised either way, because, I mean, it's a status quo administration. I think it's partially me, the actual policy is too vague. Well, that definitely kind of sucks. Oh, you know, yeah. Play a little long one. Then we'll kind of get a boatload and chill around the cruise brand and all that fun stuff. Since we had a nice little warm chamber session. For a second. I had a little twang in there for the last little bit. I kind of like it. Government's political goals, including realizing U.S. leadership. Oh my fucking god! Of course. Why am I not? Of course. Of course. I'm not surprised. It's like, we need to make sure that America's leadership is realized in the world, Jack. We can't have none of those fucking goddamn rusty fucking, slubs, out there trying to lead everything. Shit, I tell you what now. I tell you what there, Jack. Let me just tell you, no fat. Listen here, listen, fat. We can't have none of those damn Ruskies telling us, what's for. We need to realize U.S. leadership. Because the article, the U.S. White House, the White House strategy emphasizes the economic development activities and economic growth of cislunar space and on the moon, and also outlines the government's. Oh my God, dude! Wow. So not only do we need to make sure that America's leadership is seen around the world, there, Jack. Now listen here, fat. You need to take that to the moon. Take it to the moon, Jack. Put it into space. Why do you think we got a space force there, fat? No malarkey. One thing I'll give that son of a bitch Trump credit for is he made a space force. I'm giving him too much of a sexy voice for Biden, dude. I need to get a bowl going so I have more of a goof going on. Saying corn, yeah, we got. Hey, listen, fat. Hey, no malarkey, Jack. We're gonna be, I'm gonna be, taking a, whipping chain around corn bobs and then taking that son of a bitch to orbit. No malarkey, fat. Taking that son of a bitch. Tried to cut me with a rusty razor blade. He's been rusting in brain barrels in the sun all day. See that little rust bucket corn pop son of a bitch from, take it by the chain and send him orbit. Let's launch him out there. Sling him out there. Like a little, launch him out there it's like a little slingshot. No malarkey on that one there, fat. I'm giving Biden too much elegancy. A little too much elegancy. Oh my God, my finger thumbs hurt. I don't like it. Boo. Boo. Wait, here. Ba 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 ba. Oh boy, God, there's some interesting shit on the tube at the current moment. I tried to get a better slap bass. I found a new drill recommended by Flea. Fleet. Nice. Yeah, I've been that's gonna be kind of getting back into playing at least 6 string a little bit. I'm at least right now just trying to kind of get back into getting good at some of my current techniques right now, which at least at the moment still a little rustic, but definitely getting better about it. Yeah, here, I should make sure to at least have some casual background music going on. Yep. Yeah. There we go. And boom. Sweet. Yeah. Man, I definitely need to check out this interview with the fucking terrorist dad and shit. Because I've heard some really exceptionally fucking weird, freaky things about it. Basically just happy that his kid wasn't gay, essentially, and, and basically fucking, it's like, well, it's just, I'd just rather my son not be, dual queer. What was he doing at the gay bar? That ain't him. That's not how we work. It's like, what? No, we're good, God-fearing Americans. That dude's deranged. See, that's what I mean. I want to check it out. I've seen pictures of the guy, and he looks like a total fucking tweaker, dude. Like a twacked out fucking tweaker Nazi. So, not surprised. Who lives in Nazi Meth Central? Well, I wouldn't really necessarily have 100% faith in the red flag. I mean, honestly, California's probably actually got strong red flag laws. But the red flag laws unfortunately kind of failed when it came to the shooter, because Colorado has red flag laws, but nothing ever, well, if anything did come up, they just didn't bother to, call that an actual red flag. So, it's just like Colorado evidently at least has far laxer or more loopholes, or just not as strict red flag laws in comparison to at least California. Which isn't good. God damn it. Every now and then they get these bottles like sealed and nice and tight. Just need a little elbow grease. But yeah, honestly, like, I mean, I hope that crazy tweaker dude, honestly, I mean, whatever, like, I already have an idea about what he's gonna say and shit. I mean, because I know these fucking ilk. I know how these type operate and how they think, or I guess lack thereof. And, yeah, and considering that it's in, like, rural California and shit like that, like, and, like, yeah, it makes total sense. And California has a lot of people like that in more rural areas of Cali. Like, a lot of the more, quote-unquote, like, liberal, progressive areas, of California are pretty much, like, urban inner-city areas. Not as much, and once you get more rural. Kind of like Oregon, unfortunately, I guess. More rural you get, the more conservative / right-wing, at least for Oregon's case, definitely very white supremacist. Still got a lot of enclaves of those motherfuckers lying around. So, yeah, just good shit. I pretty much mod like the idea of like proposing like a soft deport program for these fucking people, honestly. And I already have the place. I already know a spot where we could put these people. Norway has these islands called Svalbard, and they're mostly inhabited on one main island, mainly for like research and weather study and stuff like that. But there's one island that I think it's the biggest island of the small archipelago, and basically there's no one there. There's no one on that island. It's just empty. There's nothing. And it's called Nordsjælland. Like, it has Nord in the name. So I'm just like, you know what? How about we just like convince all these white supremacists, hey, there's a land for you. Nords for Nords, like Nordsjælland for the Nords, it's like, you go to your home. And then just like, push a, false narrative that it's like this nice temperate, like Oregon-like environment, and then when they actually get there, like all said and done and shit, one-way trip, by the way, there's fucking, nothing. Now, it's like, they don't get left with literally nothing. I mean, you can let them have supplies so they can build, like, a settlement and, at least have something. And if people are willing to trade commerce and shit like that, at least, they can, have, like, a little port or something like that. We'll give them a little something. But it's a one-way trip. Once you, like, enter there as a citizen, you can no longer leave. Like, you're strictly stuck there. So, yeah, I mean, it's like, let's just, just to do that, give them their promised land. It'll be nice and cold and very white. Like, the land itself is white as fuck because there's snow and ice everywhere. So, it'd be perfect. I've already like mentioned, like, as far as I'm concerned, you know, we can have a lot of these fascists deported anyway, as far as I give a fuck, you know, and I've just been kind of wondering where. And that's then there, you know, just like just one of the islands, you know, we'll just like petition Norway and be like, hey, we'll give you this amount of money, and then give you this amount in interest per year, you know, for like, I don't know, 20-something years or some shit, and, you know, to pay off, you know, for the value of the island and, you know, part of the research into territory and shit, you know, and bada bing, bada boom. I mean, we could bribe Norway. Like, what do they lose? They still get the most of Svalbard and the entire archipelago. It's just cording off one specific island. Granted, one of the big islands, but hey, you know. At least it's, you know, not like, you know, like heavily populated and other people have to deal with their bullshit. They can have their fucking utopia in a winter wonderland at the same time. So, and it's a win for everybody. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I'm okay with that. Because then at least, you know, they can, you know, have their shit and do their thing. And, you know, with climate change, eventually, over time, you know, the cell, especially the whole, like, organ-like, you know, temperate environment is that the cell is, it eventually will be like that. With climate change, eventually, you know, shit's gonna grow there to the point where it's gonna be like forests and meadows and shit. Like, I mean, so, given enough time, you know, it can happen. So, you know, if they stick out for the long haul, they'll get what they paid in for. They'll get what they're sold on, you know. It's not false advertising. You just have to wait a generation or two. That's all. That's it, yeah. Just wait a generation or two, and then boom, there you go. You got your fucking like temperate winter wonderland, you know, for Nordsjælland for the Nords, you know, for you fucking weird white supremacist asses. Again, you know, it's just island, no one fucking's on it, nobody's there, you know. The other islands, you know, in Svalbard are, you know, occupied for like research and weather stations and shit like that. So just use the one that coincidentally is the biggest one, you know, of the islands, and just let them be there. You know, just, all you have to do is just convince them that it's, you know, not a icy, blocky, glacial shithole. That's going to be very miserable. And then once you can get that done, then boom. And also cordon off any communication from the outside for them. You know, at least, you know, for other people being like, hey, yo, it's all ice and snow, what the fuck, you know, and that's all, you know, like, make sure that, you know, that gets out. Like, it's only, like, you know, just, you know, put out, like, positive stuff. Like, you know, the people in Nordsjælland, they can get the regular information in the news, but they're all going to assume that, like, everyone thinks it's, you know, awesome, great, and everything. You know, there could be a whole campaign for it, man. Granted, take a lot of money, but hey, at least it'd be, you know, not making everyone else's lives miserable. And as karma, their lives will be miserable by being in a cold, hellish shithole. Where it's just them and nobody else. And like I said, you know, the caveat would be like, well, it's owned by Norway. That territory is technically owned by Norwegian, you know, sovereignty and stuff. How are you going to get through that? And like I said, it's a problem. So give them some money, you know, be like, hey, we'll pay you X amount of interest, you know, for X amount of years and blah, 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 and, you know, hey, it'll be worth it in the long run. It's like, hey, I mean, make it an international thing. Be like, hey, if you want your weird chucklefuck neo-Nazi fascists to, you know, dip out and shit, you know, just sell them over there. Just be like, hey, you know, same thing as, like, you know, down here and shit, you know, buddy, but hey, you know, it's like an actual legit utopia. It's now established a nation. So there you go, boom. No one just thinks outside the box anymore. That's the problem. It's like, how do you fish? And it's like, think outside the box. That's what you gotta do. I mean, no one thinks about, you know, sending them to a gigantic glacial ice island, you know, to just, like, you know, inhabit. No one thinks about that shit. Because, I mean, realistically, I mean, there's not really any harm being done. If there is any, it's just, you know, due to natural elements. You know, you can't help what, you know, the climate is. You know what I mean? The weather's the weather, and the climate's the climate. You can't change that. Ain't our, well, I was about to say it ain't our fault, but it kind of is, but, you know. Not directly. And hey, if they actually move there and establish a nation, then it's like, well, then they've, you know, now they're really have, like, you know, pay the dues. So even if they're like, hey, you misled us, it's like, nah. It's too late now. You got your own country, and now you have to, like, deal with it. It'll be such an FNO state that even, like, you know, the icy snow laying around it will be just white as fuck. You know? I thought that's what they wanted. Just a nice, big, icy, snowy island. That'd just be perfect. Cold just like their hearts and soul. Jewish. Aww. Oh, we're not asleep? Oh, you stretchy thing. He's a sleepy boy, but I guess not totally asleep. What a cup, yep. Built by, oh my god. You know, I mean, I know some vague shit about this whole Qatar World Cup thing, but I don't really know too much about it. I'll check this video out in a second. For I am curious. Frankly, not surprised that an entire stadium is literally built by fucking slaves. I'm not surprised. Because, you know, Qatar is just such a moral bastion of humanity. Like, you know, just very well known for their upstanding progressive moral values. 100%. I mean, like, even, like, people who are tourists that are just, like, you know, who probably are ignorant as fuck about what Qatar is about, they just think, oh, country, okay, cool, Middle Eastern country, probably hot and, you know, got, you know, gyros and shawarma or whatever the fuck. Like, you know, there's people who are probably ignorant as fuck, you know, like, you know, about the country and just don't know anything about it besides, I want to go to the World Cup. So they go there, you know, you get these people that go there, and then they don't know what, like, the quote-unquote customs are of Qatar, which, frankly, I don't really give a fuck either. Like, I, too, wouldn't exactly be, you know, worried about, you know, make sure I uphold, you know, the customs and shit. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned on that one, Shabiba's, artist, really. Oh, yeah. Well, that's why, you know, I kind of made the emphasis of, like, gyros being, you know, gyros are Greek and shawarma is Lebanese. You know, that's why I said that, because, you know, people ignorantly will probably think that, you know, Qatari food is probably that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do have that food there, but it's not going to be traditional Qatari cuisine and shit, or traditional Arabic cuisine, you know what I mean? It might be like, you know, like, it might have, like, you know, Arabic influences because, you know, they're making it, but, I mean, it's not, like, it's not where the, like, actual origin of the food is. But, either way, it's just, like, yeah, I mean, like, you get these people that go there, you know, mainly just to have fun and watch, you know, some fucking football, or soccer for Americans, but, you know, it's like they'll want to watch, you know, some football, and, you know, and they have, like, you know, like, there was, like, I saw a video of, like, some Brazilians who had, like, one of their state flags, you know, that had a rainbow on it, and, like, a cross on the bottom of the flag and shit, and the Qatari officials and some Qatari residents, like, you know, started harassing them, and I think a few residents, you know, try to assault them and shit, and, like, steal the flag from them, and, like, you know, and try to step on it, and all this other shit, and it's just like, bruh, over a fucking flag. Which honestly just is, like, you know, ignorance going the other way around, because you have, like, you know, some of these Qataris that look at rainbow and think, gay, haram! So it's like, I mean, honestly, it goes both ways, to be frank, when it comes to the ignorance going on here. Well, boycott states over abortion and fair bad flags, and I think countries like Qatar for game for atheists, homosexuals, apostates. Huh? I feel like that is some serious, strong sarcasm. Or are you meaning like boycotting, like, countries like Qatar, because of shit like that as well? Well, then, it took me a second to kind of, I think, realize that. But yeah, I mean, yes, honestly. I mean, especially, if, there are people that are at least, somewhat politically aware and, advocate for a lot of these type of things. I know a lot of musical artists that won't come to Texas or Georgia nowadays because of the abortion ban. Yeah. I'm not sure South Carolina has banned it yet. I don't know if... I don't think so. I'm not aware if it has or not. I mean, I know for sure, like, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, Arkansas, a lot of these fucking states, Jesus Christ. Don't know about Idaho, but I have a feeling that they probably at least have, some, maybe a milder restriction or a milder ban, if they, do. I noticed at least, like, a couple other states I'm missing off the top of my head. I know at least, like, pretty much every state, that had abortion, in the, midterm elections last year, basically just like, or not last year, but, these just these past elections. But, they basically just, like, slam dunked all, or, like, yes, keep abortion. Or no, we're not getting rid of it, depending on how the, bill was worded out, or the, the vote was worded. This is one of the few states where cannabis is completely outlawed across the board, which is also partially why I have disdain for that state. I shit you not, like, the fucking state troopers and, like, county sheriffs in fucking Idaho would literally, collaborate and set up fucking border stops, between Washington and Oregon, just so they could find, people that are going to Bozeman, for university or some shit, just on the opposites that they might have some weed. Like, I've seen that shit before. I mean, it's just like, bruh. It's like, Idaho's horrible. And also harbors, unfortunately, a lot of white supremacists and neo-Nazis as well, in its rural, areas. And then its inner cities are basically just either centrist or somewhat conservative. It's like, I mean, Idaho's just like, just legitimately like the Pacific Northwest version of the South. Like, I mean, it really is. Is the geography and climate will probably be affected for growing weed en masse. Oh, dude, hell yeah. I mean, it, like, Oregon has straight up a fat surplus of weed because we have so much of it, that we can grow en masse here. Like, so it's legit, like, I mean, Idaho would have the same exact, thing going for it, straight up. But no. The weird moral prudishness, matters more than, I guess, their capitalistic urges, at least in this case. And immediately say that because they can be making money off of it. And, well, capitalize off of it. And the state, could get taxes off of it that could actually benefit the state. And Idaho, hopefully, and, eventually, wouldn't be as much of a shithole. Maryland legalized recreational THC. Sweet. I think, like, wasn't it, like, kind of, like, 50-50 with marijuana legalization this time around? Like, wasn't it, like, 4 states that were, having that on the bill? Or, like, on their, ballot measures and shit? I mean, I think it was, at least. I don't really know how many are, or did it specifically. Maryland already had medical for years. That's kind of generally how it goes. Like, usually states, get medical first, and then later down the line to get recreational. I mean, I don't think every time, but pretty much, like, most, if I mean, if not all the time, pretty much. You know, that's how it happens. Well, not all the time. I mean, I think there's been 1 or 2 states that have done it through like this state judicial court system and shit. And then I think one did it through the state legislature, which is different than people voting it in. So South Carolina doesn't even have medical yet, but we have CBD products and synthetic analogs, Delta 8, Delta 10. Not even like a THCO. Because I know Venom gets THCO, and apparently that gets him pretty decently high. It says Delta 8 kind of sucks and doesn't even go for that anymore, really. But apparently, like, THCO definitely does the job a lot better. Well, I guess maybe that might be Delta 10. Because I know Delta 9 is just regular weed. So... Oh, yeah, THC's... Yeah, I guess so, because of the 10, the ones are... Yeah, maybe. I know, I feel like you'll probably know that answer better than I would. It's like a massive explosion of DCM analogs since the last from CBD and or CBN. Which is honestly pretty cool. At least in my mind, because, you know, I think a lot of these, you know, a lot of legal states, you know, because they end up getting recreationally legalized, means you have a lot more, you know, freedom to actually do proper research and development, you know, when it comes to cannabis, and, you know, making it, you know, better for people to use. And a part of that, you know, comes from finding different synthesized versions of the cannabinoids, you know, that also, you know, can do the job pretty similarly. And because there's no laws on that, and there's no laws on those types of specific, you know, chemicals and shit, you know, it's free game. And that's why it's so easy to, you know, sell it, because nothing really says, you know, if it's, like, legal or illegal. There's nothing really, you know, specifically about that on, like, you know, this scheduled system and all that shit. You need to take Colorado Springs injected with megadose THC psilocybin. I could think of some other stuff in there, but I'll reserve that for my thoughts. You think would change your mind if they took some acid dose psychedelics and MDMA? I don't know. I guess it depends on the person. I mean, like, are we talking like potential mass shooters or like ones who already did it? Because if they already did it, it's not going to really redeem them in my eyes necessarily. I mean, either way. I guess outside of like if they actually show consistent progression with that, but I wouldn't change their sentence. I think combination. I make this the error their actions. I mean, I don't know, maybe. It would have to, like, kind of be, if a brain can be fixed, the brain can be fixed. Well, it could definitely be rewired, so, I mean, you would have to, test it, I guess. Because maybe. I won't definitely say yes or no, you know, one way or the other, because maybe. You know, maybe one of them would think, you know, be enlightened and think, oh my god, you know, I was right, and like, and I've seen I've seen like all the visions of how this will play, you know, like maybe, you know, they'll delve further into their, you know, weird delusions, or, you know, maybe they will, you know, like kind of see the error of the ways, you know, like, I don't know. Or maybe they'll just think, oh damn, that was a crazy trip, and they'll not really change their mind one way or the other. I mean, like, you would have to, I guess, inject, some of these dudes with it and see what happens. So, I don't know. I guess to quote Rogaine, it's entirely possible. The Tucson Congressman should express remorse for what he did once his parent schizophrenia was pharmaceutically treated in custody. Well, I also know that the Colorado has a lot of these shootings. Jesus Christ. The Aurora, when the Dark Knight movie came out, and that guy, and I guess no pun intended, kind of went Joker a little bit because he also was schizophrenic. And once his schizophrenia started getting treated, he was the same way. I mean, those are in a way a little, I guess not entirely, obviously. I mean, the whole, rehabilitation and remorse part, it's the same, but, I mean, it's mainly because, when you have somebody who's schizophrenic, psychedelics isn't necessarily what, helps them in that situation, I don't know what the medication is called, but, the medications that help treat schizophrenia is usually what helps with that, and, with counseling to kind of help them, know their schizophrenia and know what that is, and and then know what reality is, and then as they're taking the medications and shit and go back and forth, you'll be able to kind of reset yourself on ground level. Because my friend Metal T, he's in a band, and his bassist is someone who's schizophrenic, but he's someone that takes medication and he's a totally normal dude. So it's just I mean, he's kind of a quiet guy. I mean, I've met him, but nonetheless, cool dude. So, I mean, obviously, that also shows that, people that do have mental illnesses or, neurodivergencies, aren't going to be people that are always going to be, on this type of level. But obviously, it does, on some level, kind of heighten and exacerbate some of these issues to a degree. And obviously, at least in that case, and the proper medical treatment for that, would be deemed necessary. But I guess for people that don't really have issues like schizophrenia or things like that going on, I don't know. I mean, there can be a possibility that maybe taking some serious psychedelic trips and shit, could generally maybe help. And like I said, it also could probably, make them delve further into their delusions. It might not change them one way or the other. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's, because at least in that case, it's a little different than just, having, already, concrete medical treatment being done. Schizophrenia is generally treated as with type of depressants called antipsychotics. Schizophrenia is caused by a dopamine system overload, so it's worsened by stimulants, less by depressant. Okay. Well, I know it's a type of psychoactive medication. I know kind of the type, but just the actual name of it right off the top of my head, I don't remember. Though, a little random aside, one thing that, that I know is that there's also, different types of schizophrenia. There's actually kind of one that's more of, a physical form of it. I think I might be wrong on it, but I think it might be, called, kinetoschizophrenia or something like that. Where basically, people can, how someone can kind of, be, let's say they're kind of, me, sitting down in a very natural rest state. When someone's going through this type of schizophrenic episode, they could basically be like this, but their muscles and their whole body will essentially be as if, they're in, this resting state. If you were to, do, a scan of, how, their muscles and their nervous system is. If they're like this, if just for whatever reason, they're just kind of sitting there like this or something, they're the same things are going to be going on, but for some reason they've in a sense seized up. And it's, again, I forgot the exact name for it, but it's kind of interesting. It's not one that doesn't necessarily like affect like the mental state in the same way where, you know, somebody who is like a paranoid schizophrenic would be. It's, like, and again, I forgot the name of it specifically, but it's a different variation of schizophrenia that, mainly affects, body motion and, like, the physical body more so than, like, the brain and shit. I mean, obviously the brain's being affected, but not in the same areas that, most people will know of schizophrenia being affected. Which would be, like, frontal cortex shit, I'd assume. Because of the very hyperactive, schizophrenic episodes and shit like that. Which I've seen before, and they're interesting, to say the least. That's why this if amphetamines make you hallucinate and become paranoid. That's why I'm not a fan of those. Hallucinating, I don't mind, but the paranoid part, Plus stepping down. I know, good riddance. The mummy can go back to her tomb. Send the mummy back to her goddamn tomb, please. Got my YouTube 6 revamped. Works surprisingly well. Nice. Nice. Hopefully she gets voted out in 2024. Yeah, hopefully. She's just been fucking nothing more. Like, she's just been, like, nothing more than just pure, like, harm. Rudrell needs to replace McConnell. That means he would have to move to Kentucky. And, God, no. Well... God, fuck, man, you made that really hard. You know what? Actually, yeah, you know what, Ripsy? You just made me change my mind. You know what? God, oh yes, please. Hold a press conference at a Walmart or some shit. Oh my god, dude, yes. Dude, he totally would do that. Dude would literally not get anything fucking done. Dude, it would actually be comical. Yeah, okay, yes. I just went really Midwestern there. Oh yeah, okay, yes. Oh yeah. Rudy Giuliani, dude, what if he was there for some reason and, he did actually try to do that as, like, a redemption arc for himself, but if you look at CCT footage, it shows him just running away like a bitch, and tackling someone else, to get out, and basically leave him to be trampled or something. Dude, like, that would basically be the reality, like, he's there for some reason, but tries to trample or tackle other people to get out, of the building, and, cause them to be in harm's way more so than anything else. And he will claim that he was trying to tackle the shooter and shit. Books the Nines Mental Health Center instead of the Nines Hotel. Oh my god, dude, that you... That'd be just amazing. Instead of trying to book, somewhere like the Hilton or some shit, he books it at, like, Hilton's bookstore. Just some random little, like, hole-in-the-wall bookstore. Oh, come on, don't be stupid grinder. Oh, fuck. There we go. That'll go. Apparently a lot of people that Club Q that weren't worrying about LGBT. Yeah, not a lot of people were. A lot of people were just basically just like, kind of average, bar goers or, just residents of the town or visiting and shit that were, just happened to be there because they want to check out the event. I mean, it's I mean, it's basically, was just like, really, if anything, just any typical bar. It just had a lot of very queer-friendly aesthetic, to, show itself to be a queer-friendly space. I mean, it's, because, well, being pretty much like the only gay bar in Colorado Springs, I mean, where it's very religious and very fucking conservative, then it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, at that rate, why wouldn't you want to make sure there's at least a safe place for you to be at? Where you can at least have some fun and, hang out with like-minded people that are in your area and shit. And even not necessarily just, not even necessarily, for hookup purposes, but just to, have, like, someone to be as a friend, is very like-minded and know that, hey, we kind of got each other's back in a little bit or something, A lot of times straight men will go to gay bars if they know there's live music, cheap drinks, drugs all around. Yeah. I mean, hell, straight women love going to gay bars and shit, too. Because, I mean, in a lot of ways, I mean, it just means that there's not as much, like, weird, drunk, horny dudes, trying to flirt with them. It's like there might be maybe occasional, couple, because there's bisexual dudes and shit, but, I mean, it's, for them, more of a safer place, to be, so they don't necessarily have to, be, like, exposed to, that type of shit if they don't want to. Even if it does happen, it's not going to be, the same type of, behaviors that they might typically be at if they're just at their typical water hole that they normally go to. That might be closer to their home. So, I mean, it's just like, a lot, I mean, it's just overall, like, a lot of gay bars tend to be just, like, very friendly, inclusive places. It's like where it's just, like, kind of like, go on and get along and have some fun. I mean, that's how a lot of, these type of spaces are and shit. It's like, gosh, it's like, wow, like, what a horrible thing to have a nice, safe, inclusive space for pretty much, like, anybody to have fun and, chill at. And have, like, little cool events and shit. Oh, no, God fucking forbid. People exist. I mean, I've kind of on, like, a couple rants about, like, the far right now and shit, so, I mean, I won't really go into too much of one again, but it's, like, I really get sick of these type of sons of bitches. I mean, for real. It's like, not only do they, like, cry about a culture war, but they're literally trying to incite, like, a borderline war, and shit when it comes to, like, culture, because they pretty much, like, think, like, every gay person's, some fucking groomer. Which has gotten to the point where groomers is pretty much, becoming, like, a full-on derogatory now. Because whenever people, like, even if they support, queer folk and LGBT folk and shit, they're just like, oh, groomer, just, like, all call, just, like, just basically, being called out as a groomer and shit, and fundamentally, at this point, the consequences of that type of shit is just, inciting violence, on LGBT folk at this point. Because unfortunately, the shit ain't gonna stop. The next time it might not necessarily be a mass shooting, but it might be like a borderline fucking lynching. What does groomer mean? I thought it meant shampoo and bathing. Well, in this case, it means somebody who is essentially like, like kind of slowly getting somebody into, something naively, where they don't know what they're necessarily getting into. Like, like a pedophile trying to groom a child situation, which is where directly, it's why it's being used against LGBT folk, because they think, these, like trans adults and these, gay adults are trying to, sexualize children and groom them basically into sexual acts. It's just kind of another way of saying, like, kind of slowly, like, indoctrinating, or, like, slowly, like, kind of, interloping, somebody into, like, an idea or a thing. Maybe we should look into Catholic churches then. Well, a lot of these people tend to be supporters of the Catholic Church, so I ain't gonna fucking look at that. In fact, that's part of the reason why they deflect so fucking much. Because, like, they know that, the real groomers and shit, are within their own fucking circles. So, it's like a lot of their shit that they fucking coordinate and attack, when it comes to queer folk and shit, really could just be, looked not just within the Catholic Church, but within just, like, a lot of different fucking, prosperity, hate gospel fucking, like, type of churches and shit that are dotted throughout the fucking South. By means of clerical fascism. Well, yeah. Because that's, like, there's never been logic or or like rationale when it comes to fascist belief. Like, I mean, they will support and, basically, like, advocate for the most degenerate of fucking things, behind everyone's back and shit, while at the same time calling some of the most benign of things, the most degenerate sexualization of, society and breaking down of society ever. And then basically normalize and justify any form of action taken against it, limited, but, like, including but not limited to fucking violence and bloodshed, which a lot of these fucking people are about. I mean, a lot of them basically, like, have, like, a death cult worship, the equivalent of just, like, blood for blood god. It's like they're just, like, a couple steps away of just doing, like the equivalent of just, like, Aztec, like, blood god sacrifices or some shit. It's just like, bruh. I mean, not literally, like, fucking, like, blood sacrifices, but, I mean, but doing so at least an equivalent of just, like, doing, like, like, individual killings, mass shootings, or just different mass killings, or just oppressing and repressing these people so much to the point they off themselves and shit, because they celebrate and claim that shit as victory as well. Because these people are just cretinous scum, and, they just don't care, and they're just fog hoarding this shit now. I mean, that's what honestly gets me, and why, especially earlier this morning on stream, I got so fucking riled up a little bit about it. Hence why I'm not really going as much about it now. It's because, I said a lot of my fucking passionate shit, from earlier, because, like, I mean, they're pretty much openly saying that, like, oh, it's predicted and expected that things like this happen, when you have groomers, and shit, and are trying to deflect, and say that actual, like, LGBT, folk and shit are the problem, by, saying that, oh, groomers are a bad word now and shit. They just want to deflect. And just, like, make everyone else, who they're wanting to target the actual fucking problem and the guilty ones and shit, and they're always perpetually the fucking victim. And it gets me, like, spitting mad and shit, frankly. Because, like, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, this type of shit's been, allowed to be, go on for, like, way too fucking long. At least, going on without, such a vitriol reaction against them. Because there needs to really legit be, like, an aggressive vitriolic reaction against these type of fucking people, but, I mean, priorities around safety. Well, yeah. I mean, it would be for me, too. I mean, if I happen to be in a situation like, the vet, from Colorado Springs, where I have I look over and I happen to have an opportunity to probably take him down because, the shooter's looking the other way and it's like 10 feet from me, then at that point I might make a jump on the guy. But, if that motherfucker's, aiming in my general vicinity at me and a bunch of other people and firing off rounds, I'm not going to start running, because then the next time he fires, he's going to aim at me. So, like, I'm going to keep running with everybody else at that point. And hope I don't get shot. But honestly, it's just like, how many times do you really hear about, like, an instance of these mass shootings being stopped, like, like, in these types of instances. Like, I know in this last one it happened, but I can't really think of any other times where that might have happened. I mean, I'm sure there are. Is it difficult to use another person's body to block the bullets in a mass shooting situation? I'm assuming that there are already been, like, shot and killed type of situation, and you kind of use them as a way to hide. I suppose distasteful, but if you literally have nowhere else to use as cover, I mean, what the fuck else are you gonna do, you know what I mean? I mean, it's like, like, you gotta use something for cover. You know what happens when no one's willing to take the chance from Uvalde. That's what I mean. Like, there has to be, like, there is definitely a part of me that values self-preservation. That's why, I'm so pissing, angry, mad and shit, when it comes to, this type of shit. Because it's like, my mind, like, enough, it needs to be fucking enough. Whether it's like, someone who just happens to be like a lone wolf type, mass shooter that just, is a kid that's lost, or like an ideological fucking, propagandized and brainwashed fuck, like this last dude, or whatever the fuck. I mean, it's like, there needs to at least be some, something to happen. Or nothing happens in the biggest child killing in 21st century America. And honestly, and the only reason why that happened is because the fucking cops did nothing, while more kids died. Like, they literally arrested and pepper sprayed and stopped parents from running in there with their own guns. I think a few of them had their own guns, too, to stop this shooter. Like, some of these parents, had, like, their own little sidearms and shit, because, Texas. And, they were wanting to run in there to be like, I want to, if you're not going to fucking do shit, then I'm going to do it myself. Like, there's parents who were 100% willing to take the shot against the shooter. But, or just charge in there and, deal with the shooter. Like, even if they didn't have a weapon, these, don't get it in between a parent and their kid of any species, including humans. If they get, if there's a mama or a papa that gives a fuck about their kid, it will be destruction, like, in their path to make sure the kid's protected. To do fucking nothing, CS shooter is taken down by an unarmed military vet and drag queen. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, and honestly, this is a part of what I think community action needs to apply to as well. And part of the reason why I think at least, some form of, protection, for people, not guns, by the way, and it is, I'm saying, like, pepper spray, taser, like, batons and stuff, because, if, like, just hypothetically, if a military vet had, like, a little extendable baton, oh, dude, that guy would have been beaten to shit. He would have had his bones broke. His spine would have been broken, son. Like, not only would his ass been tackled, his spine would have been broken. He'd be having pains. He would have to pay some medical bills on top of fucking spends his ass in prison on top of that. And obviously, no one would give a shit. So, they would think, good, I would. At least, when it came to, like, in the immediate reaction. So it's just like, I mean, like, at this rate, are very effective. Pepper spray and batons are both better. Yeah. Well, pepper spray inside a building is actually not a good idea, so batons would be a better solution in that case. Yeah, that's why I kind of specify not guns, because especially in that close quarters situation, that's a very bad idea. Using another form, or even brass knuckles, because the dude, that guy was beating on him with his fucking fists. Imagine if he had some brass knuckles. Imagine if they were spiked. Son. Oh, damage done, bro. Like, I mean, it's like just small little things like that. Just tiny little things. Hell, just like having keys in between your knuckles will fuck somebody up. Partial guns may have been justified, the pigs didn't do it. Yeah. Honestly, Uvalde would have been the perfect time, because I think where they initially went to go peek at the shooter and he started firing, like, there was nobody really in that room who was, like, alive, and who was hidden off and shit. The dude was beating the shooter with his own handgun. The shooter's total neckbeard, apparently 300 pounds also. Yeah. Yeah, he pistol whipped him. Dude, getting pistol whipped fucking hurts. That's all, like, I mean, it might be polymer these days, but, like, a lot of guns are mostly all metal. Getting fucking beaten with a pistol, it will break bones, like, if you hit hard enough. Like, that'll break cheekbones and shit, which I kind of hope happened. Well, actually, his face got smashed, like, and kicked in with, high heels, so that'll do similar damage. Like, they were just, like, pummeling his ass. Literally looked like a Boogaloo personified. Yeah, this weird little gorilla skull. I mean, his dad's a literal fucking, like, methed out tweaker. Apparently, like, you know, some of his background is being formerly a meth addict. Formerly. I'm pretty sure he's still tweaking. I think I melted Chud face syndrome for the rest of his miserable life. Like, it looks deformed. I mean, it's just like, I mean, look at this, I mean, it's like, look who spawned him, honestly. If you want to know why it looks like that, look who spawned him. It's like, we want these people having kids. We allowed those people to have some children. It's like, Seems like there's, like, disaster, like, that's honestly another thing. It's like, you know, like, people that have, like, harbor these type of ideas might really legitimately need to, like, be watched. And if they have children or bear children, like, there needs to be CPS watching them like a fucking hawk. Like, monthly checkups, like, in the whole nine. Like, because, I mean, when you harbor ideology like that, I mean, it's like, you don't think that's going to have a very negative impact on, you know, kids growing up, because there's, like, ad infinitum, you know, examples for as far as time goes back. And put them on subplots so they can each share, socialize, and then put them eat together, socialize, and then put them on guys so you can see the things they do. Why? Oh, like, well, I guess the answer's there, just so we can see what they do, but no, I don't. I mean, at least for me, I don't want to see that because I don't care. I watch, like, the JCS, like, criminal psychology channel, you know, like, break down, like, their interrogations and their, like, you know, and all that shit. Like, I wonder if that channel's still up. Like, every time I, like, check out the channels, like, he keeps, like, being back and forth, up and down, like, being available or not. Criminal psychology, yeah. Yay! Okay, it's still here. Oh, hey. Hey, music, get back here. Yeah, but it doesn't look like they have uploaded anything in a year. Kimino chat wants offensive Jim. I know. Oh, really? Oh. Yeah, his last video was on Nicholas Cruz, what pretending to be crazy looks like. And his video before that was The Wrath of Jody, and then there's Guilty Till Proven Innocent. Yeah, so it's just his older videos. He hasn't really made anything since, which kind of sucks. Really love his fucking channel format and his, like, content and how he makes his videos. I think it's just because of, like, the specific content that he delves into, being criminology, you know, and shit, you know, and going into details about it. I think that's pretty much kind of the main reason, because YouTube really does not like that. Back to the grind. I think I get a second break tonight at least. Hey, well, that's some good shit. Shoot up mosque. Penalty. Honestly, I feel like he's more likely to probably just burn a church down, like Varg Vikernes style. Break in, burn it, run out. And even then, I feel like he would be a little. Yeah, I think I feel like he'd bitch out. Like I feel like he would probably like try to. He would commit to it, go up to a church, and then he'll like look around and notice that there's like a couple cars that drive by, like late night, like Ubers or whatever the fuck, or notice a camera or two, and then kind of get a little paranoid and bitch out. Like, I see it, like, I know he's done, like, little, like, mischief things, but I don't think he would go to that level. I know he's, like, spray-painted churches and vandalized churches before. Church Scientology legitimately needs to be stopped. They hold people captive in facilities. They have a church here in Portland. I don't think he would do much more than piss on their building. Yeah. I know he's pissed on the Church of Scientology a few times. I mean, I have too, to be fair. Like, they have huge compounds, hundreds of acres of land in California in the wilderness. What the fuck, dude? Yeah. I remember back when I was visiting my folks in Texas in 2018, one of my aunts happened to be, that I was staying with, happened to be watching, like, a 8-part documentary about Scientology. And I actually was watching it with her. It was legit, like, kind of infused, and her and I were kind of having interesting little back and forth discussions about it and shit, just because, weirdly enough, because of, like, how culty it was. I reserve some of my thoughts about, like, how other religions do similar shit sometimes, but, we just kept it strictly about Scientology. They have money laundering center in Pony. Yeah. Like, in Portland, like, the building's more or less a money laundering center. Like, I've peeked inside, and there's, like, no one there. Like, the building's, like, locked, so you can, but the doors are all glass, and you can kind of see through, and it looks like there's, like, a little, like, front little, like, office lobby area in the front, but nobody's ever there. It's called Gold Base. They also have a fleet of cruise ships called the Sea Org. Yeah, I know about a little bit about the Sea Org. It's partly used for indoctrination, tax avoidance, port of registry loopholes. Yep. Because it's all basically just like a money laundering scheme for these type of fucking weirdos. And you also have, like, an entire, like, basically have, like, co-opted, like, half a town in Florida as well, if I understand correctly. Where a lot of celebrities that are Mormons, not Mormons, fucking Scientologists, fucking live there. Mormons are Utah. What am I? Well, but the gold base thing, I'm not familiar with, but I know a little bit about the Sea Org. I mean, the Sea Org isn't just like the fleet of cruise ships. It's also kind of like the high-rank admirals and shit like that as well. Where it's kind of like the higher-ups and, like the admirals and shit that own the boats, and all that. Like, because L. Ron Hubbard had a really big fascination with the Navy, because I think he was a sailor at one point. He did fuck all in the Navy, but he made up a bunch of fucking stories about how he was, like, a recognized war hero or some shit. It's Christianity, Scientology. It's like how America is the Western world's Florida. Yeah, pretty much, honestly. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's pretty much how, like, 100% how it is. I mean, like, Scientology also kind of takes some biblical symbology, too. Like, their whole symbol is very similar to a cross. I think it is basically just kind of a cross, but it has kind of like a star in the center of it that kind of, like, pops out. But, like, the main piece, around it is kind of like a cross in nature. So, I mean, even Scientology kind of takes a little bit from Christianity, but that's kind of the point, because they want to take people who are obviously more like, or going to be like-minded, in, Christianity and shit. And, pretty much, like, it would be easier to indoctrinate somebody, or at least groom someone into a cult or something, if you at least have similar symbology, to an idea or a belief or religion that they might already believe, or at least, are more likely to believe in. It was Captain Submarine Chaser. He bombarded us. He floored geologic magnite deposit of depth charges, thinking it was a submarine. He did fuck all, and the one thing he did do was being an idiot. So, yeah, honestly, not surprised. Because, well, it's goddamn fucking... It's fucking Elron. Elron the fucking fruit bat. Like, his, last few pictures of his life, he looks like a fucking deranged, tweaked out fucking mad scientist looking weirdo. Like, when he's, being a hermit out in Arizona or some shit. It's like a little trailer avoiding the IRS. This is like, damn, bro. And also, what was it, theta particles or some shit? It's cool how many Japanese midget submarines attacked the west coast in small ways. Beaches were shelled. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say cool, but I would definitely say impressive. I mean, I know a lot of mini-subs basically did a lot of, attacks and shit in Australia and New Zealand especially. Places like in Sydney, because a lot of different, supply ships, would go through there. One of them beached in Pearl Harbor. Yeah. Yeah, I think, was it the day of, or was it, the day before or the day after? It was, I know, during the attack of Pearl Harbor, it was literally, I think it was either just after or just before when it was the day of. The day of, okay. Yeah, because, if I remember, I think the vessel, wasn't it, beached, already, and they discovered it the day of? It was the only surviving midget submarine in America. Well, yeah, because when it beached, it pretty much was totally intact. Wasn't there one in Pearl Harbor itself? During the battle? If I remember, I think there was, photos that, are speculated to show a Japanese midget submarine, that was, inside Pearl Harbor during the raid. Which, if I remember what the pictures look like, well, I know this much. I know what Pearl Harbor looked like in the attack at the time, but at least, from specific details, it does, there is, what does kind of look like a little silhouette of some shape, in the water that's actually noticeable. Because in Pearl Harbor, the water, it's not that deep. So it's the submarine ain't gonna be, it can't really go too deep underwater, so you're gonna kind of see it a little bit, potentially. And there were several that were sent to attack secondary damage control ships like tugboats and oilers. There were 5 midget subs. Oh, so there was 5 of them in the port during the attack overall. Damn. So I know for a minute I think there was theories about it, but I guess now at this point it's pretty much all confirmed. But that's pretty interesting. It kind of just shows how much planning really went into that attack. Because I think that plan was, I think, a year or so in the making. And even then, it failed. Because the attack had the contingency of the carriers were going to be there. And none of them are there. Not one. They're all doing exercises, out in sea. Though I think the Enterprise actually, the day of, just before the actual attack, did get some Betty bombers, G4 and Betty bombers, flying by, and they actually did try to attack because they knew of the plan and were obviously, were aware of it, and tried to attack the carrier, and one of them got damaged and did another round and looped around and tried to do a kamikaze attack, and one of the pilots for one of the air crews just jumped in a SBD Dauntless tail gunner position and just started blasting. And this is like some shit that you think be in a movie. Well, actually, there is a movie that has this in it now. But, like, this Betty bomber basically, like, turned over to its side, and, like, the tip of the wing skirted the platform of the carrier and fucking hit the tail of the Dauntless dive bomber that the guy was in. I forgot his name off the top of my head. And basically narrowly missed him by like 3 or 4 fucking feet. Like, his feet were dangling out of the now big hole of what used to be a tail of the plane. And the plane just skirts, does a little 360 and kind of loops around. He don't give a fuck, he's still shooting. And, jolted and like, oh fuck for a minute, but, and the plane just kind of, bounced a little bit and then it kind of delved into the sea and it just kind of started blasting a little bit before it fell in the ocean. And, crashed, basically. And it's just like, bruh, like, I mean, that's honestly a crazy, event, for, being one of the things that happened on December 7th. And not a lot of people know about it. Japan had one of the best in the world. Oh, for submarines at the time? Oh, you mean torpedoes. America went into war with a defective torpedo, the Mark 14, because Congress was being counted in the military budget back then. Well, yeah, because America didn't really, it had a very strong isolationist foreign policy at that point, because of World War I. Because America, at least for a short time, looked like it accomplished something with it. But after, the Great Depression hit, they were just like, we're not doing this again. We're not going to be, going into European affairs because it really fucked us up, which fucked the world up, when it, economically at the time. So, there was a very strong, let's not actually, increase the military budget. Let's just, be very minimalistic with it. Sad you don't actually see that type of position or opinion anymore, or an advocation of that as much. It's not like people don't advocate for it, but you definitely don't see it nowhere near as much anymore. And there used to be a strong, outright, cultural, element to it, in America for a time. Even after World War II, the Vietnam War had a very strong anti-war, or at least the Civil Rights era, had a very strong culture of anti-war, amongst the populace. Yeah, even outside of, a lot of the, Civil Rights movement in Woodstock and, the hippies and shit like that. Because there's, different war vets, family members, who have lost, friends or loved ones, in Vietnam and shit. Or just people that just simply, just didn't agree with, going into, affairs, and shit, and they all, kind of like-mindedly, were against, a lot of the conflicts and wars and shit. And plus, Vietnam was just shortly after Korea, and there wasn't exactly much gained from that either. America nearly, outright lost that shit, outright, fucking total defeat shit. Because, North Korea and China nearly was able to occupy the whole peninsula and take the whole peninsula at one point. Nearly. They encircled one little area and it got reinforced and supported enough and reestablished quickly, and then a remodernization and of air doctrine too as well, helped play a major role of turning the tide on that. Because America at the beginning of the Korean War was still going based off World War II air doctrine tactics, and that was a slaughterhouse, and it did fuck all to help anything. Besides, get people killed. So, they had to, basically take time to totally rethink their idea, because they were still kind of running turboprops and having some jets, but didn't realize how important jets, were basically the new, way of going with, combat. And then things like the F-86 Sabre came into play and shit. And the P-80 as well. Well, not really. I mean, the P-80 was evolved early on, but it was obsolete by the time Korean War was going on, because the MiG-15 was just immensely, just far more of a superior fighter. What am I later on? Honestly, like, the Soviet Union and, like, the, you know, Eastern Bloc basically, you know, like, honestly had a very, you know, like, successful, like, air research and development wing, you know, for quite some time. You know, like, I mean, they had a lot of pretty decent successes when it came to a lot of, you know, aircraft that people know of today, like the MiG-21, MiG-29. MiG-29 is literally still used today, and it's still being used in combat now. So, so I mean, you know, there's also the MiG-15 and MiG-17, you know, just all these different aircraft. A lot of nations still use them today. And for good reason, because they work. Took us into a segment tonight basically saying, yeah, shooting's bad, but we could focus on such against surgeries and hormone and drugs. See, because he doesn't care that shooting's bad. In fact, he celebrates that shit. Like, when he was in a college or university or whatever, fuck, he was part of, like, the Dan White Society, which is basically just, like, a lol, isn't it funny that, like, the gays die, you know, and shit club, basically. Like, the fucking rat, you know, essentially loves that it happened. I mean, when the fucking whole, like, gays against groomers shit, bitch, you know, fucking basically, you know, said, oh, it was predictable and expected, he smiled. He was like, yeah, it is. And I want more of it. And he's still doing it. That's what I mean, like, these fuckers, you know, are basically calling blood for blood god. Because that's what it looks like. It ain't like, you know, doing literal fucking, like, sacrifices or some shit, or, like, literal fucking, like, mobs in the street, you know, rounding people up, but, you know, if anything, it honestly looks a lot more scarier, because you really don't know when it will hit. Like, no one expects when, like, some mass shooting or some shit's gonna happen, you know what I mean? Like, no one expects that. Seeing a large, angry mob of people coming around being like, where the gays? You know, it's like, that's kind of, that's noticeable, you know? You can see that coming blocks down. You know, so people have time to react, you know, to some shit like that, you know what I mean? But, you know, no one knows when, you know, like, you know, a shooting or something like that, you know, happens. It's just like, oh, boom, out of nowhere. Like, you know, a lot of that type of shit, you know, will, you know, like, is really kind of unpredictable. I mean, I guess, like, a very large, like, you know, anti-gay mob of people, you know, coming out of nowhere and shit, you know, is not predictable either, but, like I said, you can at least kind of see that coming blocks down the road. Mention of World War II, I came to a stalemate and dragged on into the late 40s. You see jets en masse, the AK-47, King Tiger, the early predecessor, T-54, or T-54 predecessor, the P-80, Shooting Star, the Pershing tank. Don't forget about the Gloucester Meteor. Or the MiG-9. I mean, by the time the war ended, the MiG-9 basically had no real need or reason to fucking be armed, so it was basically a parade jet. But it was intended to be used for military services and shit, and, like, I definitely would have seen, you know, something like that used and shit. There would have been a lot of jets being operated. Obviously, ME-262, the TA-183, the Dornier 335, the rear and front turbopropped aircraft, which looks kind of weird, but really fucking cool at the same time. And it's huge. Like, the Dornier 335, that thing is gigantic. Like, for a fighter interceptor / ground attack aircraft, that thing is just fucking gargantuan. Ben Shapiro. This ain't the real Ben Shapiro. This Thanksgiving Eve. I'd like to say I'm so thankful for my sister. I'm sure you can imagine why. Look how beautiful my sister looks, simply glowing. I've literally been staring at these photos for hours. Oh my god. God damn. Dude, fucking Abigail. Dude, Abigail Shapiro got fucking booba, dude. What the fuck? Abigail Mommy Milker Shapiro, dude. God damn. What the fuck? This is a screen cap of this bitch? What the hell? My god. Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, 2 V12 engines, there's only one left in DC. Yeah. There should be, like, some reproduction versions of that, you know, that could be made flying around. Like, pretty much, like, reproduction photocopy versions of those flying around. That'd be cool. Or basically, his half-sibling used Fuss sperm to artificially inseminate his wife. Yeah, because he can't do it himself. Oh my god, this fucking bastard cat. He just straight up, like, specifically went for the fish. Aww. Oh. You yawny boy. He was just giving me the stare down. He was just like, what are you yawning for, huh? What are you looking at me like that? So come on, bro. Oh yeah, that's right, you did. Genius. My cat is afraid of tangerines, so I create a force field to protect a Christmas tree. Aww. How's a cat afraid of tangerines? Bastard. You bastard. You bloody bastard. Aww. That kitty's adorable. That is an adorable kitty. I do say so myself there now. What's this? Malaysia. What's it? Oh, they have a new prime minister now? Appoints Anwar Ibrahim as prime minister. What? Who is this? The new leader was appointed by King Sultan Abdullah. Oh my god. Hey, we have like post-elections and stuff. It's called the King appoints, you know, the actual winner. I thought I used to sell it over the weekend. Oh, that's oh, it got hung in Parliament. That's why. Neither Mr. Anwar nor ex-premier Muhyiddin Yassin has won the simple majority needed to form a. Oh my god. Well, sounds like some interesting shit's going on over there. Don't forget about St. Ocean in California 3 years ago. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Was that in San Bernardino or something? God damn it. Here. See what little things I can see on the tube here. So, she I think like 10 years ago, synagogue in Poway near Orange County. Oh, Poway, oh. What are you doing? Oh, well, those eyes just lit up. Do you want death? You have to come over here for it. Come over here. Come here. I was expecting Walmart to be my nationals in cell. No, that was basically like a manager. From what I understand, that was a manager, like a store director slash manager that basically went and snapped and basically shot up all his employees and then himself in the break room. That's from what I understand, which is just like, well, It seems like there's a correlation between mass shootings that, you know, not a lot of people seem to really want to point out. You know, like the socioeconomic conditions that get people desperate. An act of whiteness in the break room. Well, he snapped. Which honestly, like, you know, especially knowing a Walmart, like, I mean, it's, like, yeah, I'm on, it's one of those things where I'm just not surprised or, you know, and shit. I mean, that one I just feel sad about because it's just like, I mean, that, you know, it's just another indictment of a lot of the fucking socioeconomic conditions and the problems, you know, that are, you know, happening, you know, that are causing people to be desperate, whether it's like, you know, doing like petty theft of crime, you know, escapism with substances or these mass shootings and shit. I mean, it's like, there's a root issue as to why these things are fucking happening. For some reason, a lot of people think it's just literally nothing else but it's like that's only one variable to the whole problem. It's like, Jesus Christ, fucking people. Come here, baby. Come here. Boop, boop, boop. I'm gonna poke your ear with this. Oh my, you goober. You're just like, oh, I'm sitting back over here. Oh, look at that face. Okay, here we go. You're just so cute. Yes, you is. You're just a sweet boy. As a boss, you expect a guy who cleans up the poo out of the toilet. Yeah, like, you know, yeah, like a courtesy clerk or something. Yeah, honestly, I mean, yeah, I kind of, I mean, I don't love it. I just kind of find it a little, like that's kind of one of the things I find unexpected about the, fucking, you know, that shooting. It's just like, it was the boss of the store. It's like, I expected, like, a, you know, some, like, because I know there's been, you know, not really big mass shootings, but there has been shootings, you know, because coworkers snap and then they plan to do this whole thing. Because I know there was another mass shooting a while back that, you know, somebody killed 3 of his coworkers on a night shift and then himself. But there was, I think, like 5 people in total in the shop at the time. So 2 other people were able to escape, you know, and, you know, didn't realize, you know, like, who did it, you know, and all that shit, but, you know, they kind of had an idea, you know, but until they, you know, the police showed up and realized what the fuck happened and all that, then they realized, oh, it was that guy on shift. I mean, you know what I suppose hasn't happened yet? Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, man, dude. Yeah. It's America. Just give it time. We don't solve problems here. We just let them get worse. One of these big West Coast cities to get a hold of an AK, go on a rampage in Walmart or something. Like a homeless person. I mean, I don't think they'd get a hold of an AK. I mean, they'll probably get a hold of a handgun, if anything. That'd be more likely of a scenario. And honestly, like, to a lot of people that already live in the cities, that's not really much of a like unexpected thing. There's already various different issues of gun violence, you know, depending on fucking, you know, the town or the city, I guess. And go out like that. I mean, honestly, I'm sure there's probably been some that have thought that way. But I mean, like I said, it's like I said, it's America. I mean, eventually something will happen. Something like that's probably going to happen. Arm the homeless if you want a socialist revolution, unironically. Well, hey, I'll be vague, but I'm not necessarily against those ideas. I wouldn't necessarily arm just all of them, but, you know, Yeah, chat with your local homeless people. See who's good guy. Because honestly, there's plenty of homeless people, that are just literally people who are down on their fucking luck, and yeah, they might, be, using, some form of escapism. Like, yeah, they honestly might be an alcoholic, or they might be like, doing something else maybe. But when sober or just kind of out in the in the day, like they're just like common folk. They're just all like greasy or crusty and shit because they're homeless. It's like, I mean, what do you expect for someone who's down on their fucking luck? Walmart 2 a.m. A homeless man walks completely naked. Fakers is with magazines tied to his belly with duct tape. One squeeze between. Oh my god. I don't know if I want the socialist revolution looking like that, my man. You made me stutter with that fucking really, like, oddly descriptive, scene. Like, I don't know if I want the socialist revolution looking like that, my brother. Like, I don't know. You got the spirit, I'll give you that. You have the spirit. But, I don't know. I don't know about that one. America's Freak Show, so the revolution needs to respond in kind. Yeah, I guess I can't necessarily argue against that. I mean, alright, yeah, touché. Corey, check a cheese shoes manifesto. Spent a lot of time lurking in YouTube chats, me. My god. Dude, that'd be like one... honestly, like, it would be the most whack fucking, like tragedy / like, just national, international story of, like, if that was the case. Like, got, like, 5, magazines, one between the cheeks, 2 duct tape on his sides, and just, like... Do you see homeless sleeping in Portland? Yeah. I mean, depending on where you go, you might see 1 or 2, or you might see, Wheelerville, or, Tent City. So, you might, depending on where you are in Portland, you might see one or the other. But sometimes you might see, like, a couple, but it just kind of depends on where you're at in Portland specifically. I mean, honestly, even around here you might find 1 or 2. But they mostly hang out by the watershed, which isn't really that far away from me. Because there's like a little creek and there's like a big bike trail and different paths and different little hideaway areas, that you can hide in, if you never left and just stayed there. I mean, honestly, no one will really notice you. So... This video of a homeless guy in India or Indonesia or whatever that is preaching on the street corner and then cuts it. It's under a sock account, but they banned it. I wonder why! Gee, I wonder why they would do that. I wonder why YouTube would ban that account. Bruh. That's like some shit for Live Leak. Oh my god. OMG, get down here. Thor got the turkey. He's snarling at everyone. My baby is in love. Mom, not funny. What are we gonna do? We have people to feed. Oh, relax. We'll just wash it off and cook it. No one will know. Bro, yo. I'll just wash off the turkey. It's okay. So what the fuck? I like the all caps. I love all the, like the all caps. If you ever feel dumb, just know that when my friend was 14, she went to a psychiatrist because she had a voice in him. It was her brain. Like, she literally just her thoughts. She thought that she was the only person who had the ability to think for 14 years. Oh my god. Alright, I'm saving that. That's just ridiculous. No one would know. It just keeps zooming in on his eyes, just like, no one will know, huh? Yeah, no one's gonna fucking know. There's evidence now. Oh my god. Did dog finish? Oh my god. I hope not. I really, for everyone's sake, I really truly hope not. Cause she's just like, oh, wash it off, sweetie, it's okay. It's like implying that she knows that he's gonna finish. It's like, bruh. Oh, dude, this is like back in the old YouTube days. This is my first comment ever on YouTube. You guys should feel honored. And who the fuck are you? Jonathan Stevens. It says right there, you illiterate fuck. Oh my god. Damn. Roast. Jonathan Stevens? What the fuck? Dr. John... Wait, someone straight up, like, looked up the name and are just like, what? No, it's Dr. John studied human genetics and biology in Oxford and worked in medical... No wonder he was like, you should feel honored. Yes, you should feel honored. Wait, what the hell? Someone just replied with a werewolf to that? Okay. Chad, default PFP user. Default PFP, but in Chad form. I love it. This picture's an honor to see. Jonathan learned how comments work very quickly. Do you know who John Season is? He is new to YouTube, and who the fuck is that? I would say that. Who in the fuck is that, Sessa? I just saw Andrew Tate list as educational. Cringe. Gross. Ugh. Tate fans make anyone look good. Yeah, for real. Them, are you really gonna die for drag queens and queer folk? Someone is. I love it. Oh, Rusty Shackelford. Someone's gonna be. Tell you what. Community defense group, something like that. I like this. We need to form our own well-regulated militia. Community defense, which I agree with. Our militias are specifically either intended to uphold or us defending us. Or, like, which also just kind of sounds like another way of saying militia, frankly. Many of the socialist factions in the Spanish Civil War were anarchists and trade union armed forces that referred to them as militias. Yeah. Well, this is true. Well, yeah, like, so what's the problem? Especially legal badge for leftist groups looking for paramilitary groups. You can oh my god, whatever. That just sounds like you're just, like, basically, like, grasping at straws. Like, I don't like the verbiage. It's like, I mean, good lord. It's like, I don't like the verbiage of militia. It's like too much. We need to make it a little soft and friendly. It's like community defense group is just a family-friendly version of saying militia, as far as I'm concerned. And yes, there have been many trade unionists and anarchists and socialists that formed in their names at times, you know, when it came to the names of them, like militias. Like, you know, like workers' militias or people's militias. I mean, another, you know, thing that, you know, leftists, you know, use this terminology for a similar thing would be like a vanguard, you know, so it's like there's different verbiage that kind of means all the same thing, but it's like, it's at that point, it's like grasping at straws. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, basically just pick the one that you like the most. Like, do you like flowery rhetoric, or do you like the more blunt version of the rhetoric? Do you like community defense group, or do you like militia? You know, it's like, pick your poison, basically, you know what I mean? Well, Tate converted into Islam, and I highly doubt it. I think, you know, part of me thinks he's just saying that. Spanish Civil War had anarchist militias. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, the only reason why I'm saying it is because of this dude's tweet. Like this. Like, because this person... No, like, I mean, because, you know, Rose sent me this, which I agree with and is based. And then this person said this. And then this person chimed in, basically just grasping at straws, really. I mean, it's like, I don't even necessarily disagree. I mean, because, yeah, there are a lot of contemporary militias now that do this. Yeah, like, I mean, it's not necessarily, like, you know, untrue. What also is true is what this person said. Which is also what you said. You know, Spanish Civil War, anarchists and trade unionists and armed forces, you know, like, yeah, the POUM, yeah, you know, so. And this person still here is one to grasp straws about it. The term carries a lot of baggage. It's like, it's like, oh my god. Am I seeing atheists around in our lifetime? I mean, I truly do hope so. Christian militias in Idaho and Montana. Yeah. I mean, Proud Boys, Patriot Front, 3%ers. There's some other ones. I mean, yeah. What are you doing? Oi! 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 What are you, like, what are you going to town on, son? That would be wild. I mean, considering the revolution's going on right now in Iran, I mean, very likely. Service PWs. Huh. Oh, there's like a whole big thing here. This guy found a interesting little thing. It's kind of prison the original dudes that tweeted, you know, some of that meme earlier, and just kind of looking at this. So it's fine. So it's written honestly circulating amidst queer anarchist circles in the PNW. It's reproduced here, which is pretty base in itself. Which has this whole thing right here. Fuck shit up, honestly. Kind of keeps going up until, like, right here in the end. Be gay, do crime. I like it. Nope. So. That's like a whole, yeah, it's like a whole multi-page thing. I'm gonna read that in full later. Check that out. See what that is. What a fucking blockhead. He'd rather his son be a mass murderer than a homosexual. Oh, yeah, this guy. Yeah, oh, yeah, I've been meaning to check out this dude. Or, you know, an interview of that fucking freak. Meanwhile, a few feet up the family trunk tree. That, yeah, that crazy tweaked ass fucking interview. He's mentally ill. He seems very tweaked out, which caused him to be mentally ill. Which is basically just me tweaked out at that point. Like, his mental illness is basically being tweaked out on meth for, well, 30 years about, yeah. It says, today's lesson on double entendres. When you told you're a monster in bed, but didn't get specific. Someone replied to this. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna be that guy. What woman wouldn't want a cookie monster in bed? Nom 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 is all I'm saying. I don't always eat cookies, but when I do, I eat them in a horrifyingly violent manner. I mean, he really does. He does violently destroy those cookies. They try to make me go to rehab, but I said nom nom nom. Like when she says she's bi, and you don't know if she means polar or polar or sexual. I have one thoughts and questions about Cookie Monster in bed. Rip my childhood. Oops. My God. Honestly, Leslie comes to me. Yeah, it would be me too. Bonk. What are you doing, my dude? You're just like what? What the? It's like the fuck. What the hell? Oh. Yeah, hold on. Well, I'm just kind of like mind his business. Oh. Okay, hold on. Well, I don't want to like flip the camera if I'm doing this. Oh fuck it, I was just gonna have to. He's just like basically being a cat right now and like licking his leg like a cat. But that face pokes up so quick when he hears his bag. He's like, "Fuck was that?" Come on. Yeah, get your little lace bones up. There you go. Yeah, there you go. You got some ham. Don't turn your back on me. Maybe I was gonna give you another slice. Aw. There you go. Yeah. Goof. Love when, also there was a Waukesha attack. Love how when Waukesha happened, the right was about to have an explosive orgasm. Love was sort of left-wing anti-white attack. Waukesha. I don't. Which one was that? Honestly, I don't think I remember that one. I mean, see, they happen so often that it's just like, how in the fuck, you know, it's like, right over Christmas. Oh, that. It was a year ago now. Oh, yeah, I know, I remember. No, yeah, no, you reminded me now. Yeah, I didn't really remember the right fuming that much. Probably because they were just like, oh, crazy person. Lunatic. Yeah, that's pretty much like what they were all kind of saying. Which I guess in that case is honestly kind of true. I mean, that guy was legit pretty much cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and legitimately mentally ill. And had a warrant and was trying to, like, you know, run away. Like, literally that even they were, like, saying, this is anti-white leftist Antifa. Well, yeah, because they don't care about reality. They don't care about, like, you know, what, you know, like, what the actual facts are of things. They just want to spin a narrative, and if you call them out on their shit, they're gonna call you the fucking actual problem and guilt trip you and play the victim every step of the way till Sunday. So I don't really have much sympathy for these fucking, you know, ilk as much anymore. Because, like, in a lot of ways, they know what the fuck they're doing. Like, a lot of average Joe Schmoes, a lot of them are doing it because they're just kind of dumb. Like, and naive and ignorant. But, like, a lot of these more, like, like affluent types, you know, that, you know, are, like, more well-known or more influential, like, they know exactly what the fuck they're doing. Even if they're not as well-known, or if they're so popular everyone knows their name, like Ben Shapiro. You know, so it's just like, it's, you know, it's like a lot of these motherfuckers know exactly what the hell they're doing. Boob. Oh, look at that little tail wag. You sweet baby. Claims transgender identity. No, it's non-binary. And frankly, no, they're not. Like, they might claim it for self-defense, so they, you know, legal purposely, you know, so they don't get hate crimes and shit. But it's also just a way to fucking mock queer people and shit, too. Because the right are just going to use that as form transgender, though. I've heard some differing opinions about that, so I'm not gonna, like, exactly, you know, say one way or the other, honestly. Like, I've heard it's not, and I've heard it is, because there were people being non-binary, but not trans, but people who are non-binary and trans, so, I don't know, like, I don't know, you know, like, I'm not 100% informed on all of it, but even if I'm not, I still obviously advocate, you know, for them to be normalized and exist, you know, because they have every right to just be existing in fucking peace. But fucking like Aldridge shit, like, I mean, honestly, a lot of reason, you know, he's basically claiming the whole non-binary identity thing is just partially as, like, you know, a self-defense case, you know, for trial, you know, so he doesn't get hate crime charges, which probably won't work or help him. You know, and, because he still likely could. And also, just, basically, as, like I said, it's pretty much like a way to, like, mock, you know, queer and trans people and shit. And basically use that as just more fodder for the right, knowing that, you know, this person, knowing that the, you know, far right and right wing and commentators like Tucker Carlson will go with that and fuel the fires and stem the fire far more. So, I mean, it's purposeful. And also, you could change your name without necessarily changing your gender either, you know, so, well, albeit probably a little harder, you know, to change your name legally at that point. Surely don't expect to get away with it. Yeah, I'd say some of them probably are. I don't know about all of them, but yeah, I'd say a decent chunk probably are, legitimately. Because, you know, a lot of these shootings, you know, not all of them survive. In fact, sometimes they do shoot themselves, you know, after, you know, the police arrive. You know, so, yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways it is. I mean, not for, you know, like, all of them, obviously. For this guy, probably. But he also is very hell-bent about his right-wing ideology, especially being basically enloped in it pretty much his entire fucking life. And encouraged to do so as well. So it's like, you know, I mean, in a way, like, I don't know, you know, for him it might be the case, but it could be. Probably. You know, and, I know the, like, you know, with, Nicholas Cruz, you know, I think, you know, to some extent that was, a partial, you know, suicide attempt, but because the cops looked at him and basically gave him a fucking hamburger and shit, you know, and treated him very kindly, you know, he didn't get shot or killed or anything, and he probably expected to, you know, get shot by the cops, but, of course, wasn't, so... Probably also in cell. I mean, that no one really knows. Intimidating. Shoebill storks are native tropical parts of East Africa. Typically, they're very docile around humans. Oops. What up? Dude, look at this shoebill, dude. Dude, I love shoebills. They're fucking crazy, dude. Fucking dinosaur. It's just fucking vibing, too. They don't give a fuck. It's just vibing there. Just chilling. Guarantee if a group of these were at any place, no one would touch it. Yeah. Let's be real. If you think this could get laid on Tinder. I don't even know what they look like, and frankly, really don't care. I could see, you know, I could tell, like, what, you know, like, just from the different stock that, you know, has been produced already from that dude. Like, yeah, I can, already imagine. I can already imagine I'm not exactly looking pleasant. And, oh my god, okay, this is even more intimidating. Like, that bird literally straight up looked like about to fuck you up. What the fuck are you doing? What the hell? I'm gonna poke you with a Coke bottle. That's what you get now. You're getting poked with a Coke bottle. Getting poked with Coke. I like how some of my YouTube homepage is straight up, like, now taking over with, like, the Walmart shooting now. There isn't really that much news-wise now about the Colorado one. Outside of, like, the dude's dad and shit at this point. It's like, oh my lord. How quick the news will just drop a thing and just not give a fuck. So I just don't trust the, like, the authority, you know, of, like, to our institutions anymore. Or acknowledge it by any means, because just like they don't give a fuck. It's not in their interest to care. They do it just to make sure that they can get the ratings, but as soon as the next big thing happens, you know, whatever the fuck it is, they'll just drop, you know, whatever it is and then just go straight to that. And just like basically totally forget that, you know, and the other, you know, other shit happened. They might tangentially, you know, mention it here and there, especially if it happens to be a similar type of event. But beyond that, they don't care, because it's not in their interest to care. It's in their interest to maximize ratings. Better give him that orange before you come and take it. It's like giving me, bro. Oh my god, hold up. That monkey, dude. He looked like he was a dude. Dude, he's looking like you better fucking give it to me. He's looking like toss it. He's like, toss it to me, bro. Dude, he straight up like looks like, yeah, like you better fucking tossing that shit to me, bro. It's like you better toss that to me. You better give me that damn orange. Someone screen capped it. Someone screen capped it. I'm saving this. It's perfect meme format right there. Same energy. Don't screen for the zookeeper. You run up. Whoa. Oh shit, he grabbed a leg too. Damn. Or if there's some punches, if I... And if that ain't do it, good thing. I always carry a stick. Entertainment makes us blind. So much pain. I feel so many... wait, I feel so many pain. Not just... You feel so much, it's you feel so many pain, like singular pain. But many of that particular pain. Yeah, that's like a type of orangutan. Looks like a young one, like a juvenile maybe. Like a little teenager, basically. But he looked pretty hell-bent on like, give me that fucking orange. I mean, he was straight up like, give me that fucking orange. Like he had that look, like he had the look. It kind of just shows how, like, legitimately similar, you know, like, we are, like, to primates, like, in way more than we think. Because, I mean, that, like, what that, like, orangutan doing, it's just straight up, like, some human shit right there. Just, like, give me that orange. It's like, you see people do that all the time. It's like, hand me that shit, come on. It's like, you see that all the time, where it's like, come on, give it to me. This chungus of a cat, dude. Oh my god. This cat stops as the lights are on. It's like, oh shit, I've been caught. Fucking goober. Fucking goober cat, dude. Oh my god. Dude, what a fat chungus, dude. What a fat boy. That is a fat kitty. He's very territorial. He's looking so territorial about that fucking pillow. Aww. What a pretty boy. This is a pretty kitty. Pretty boy kitty. That cat is not going to bed. That cat is ready to get busy with that pillow. Yeah, like, yeah, that cat's got some attentions with that pillow. Get your keys fixed. Yeah, actually, that's what's going on, actually. We're seeing the cat, like, sadly struggle. Sounds disgusting. What the f... The idea doesn't... But the name is unappealing. The Turger? The Thurdiger. Just call it the Taco Burger. You know, honestly... If, like, any fast food joint served me this, do you really trust them to make it look like that? Now, if this was done professionally, dude, that might actually legit be fucking banging. But, I mean, do we expect, like, a fast food joint to nail that? Or the Burko? Yeah, you know, that works too, even, you know? I mean, but for real, this is like, I mean, we know how, like, you know, fucking food companies, you know, doctor up their photos and shit. It's like, do you truly expect, you know, like, like a fast food place, like, like McDonald's or Taco Bell to present you that when you ordered it. I mean, I'd make it myself. I'd attempt to, but I mean, that I would not get that at like any fast food place. Like, definitely not, not about that. Took experience this. Wait, what? Oh, Carl's just like basically emulating Tucker Carlson. I mean, I wish his opinion was disregarded, but unfortunately, he is one of the biggest like news fucking shows or whatever the fuck. It's just like, oh, great. That's always nice. Yeah, dude, you're a fucking goober. What are you doing over there? Here, take the slice of ham, doggo. Come here. Come up, are you that lazy? Oh my god. Oh, there you go, buddy. Oh my goodness, look at you. Wow. You're a goober. You're a goober. Yeah. Yes. Now go back to your little chair and curl up in your little ball of sweetness like you were. What was that noise? Took Stacy with a diffused, discontent look on his face, rendering your opinion. Oh yeah, that like look is like his. Like just that fucking look of his. Ugh. It's just so, just very. It's, but I don't know. A face in need of a fist. Yeah, one of those situations. I know there's a German word for that sentence. Yes, sentence. There's a German word specifically for a sentence. Don't shoot Bill's bite. I love it. Shoot Bills look dangerous but aren't. Cassaways. Look dangerous but aren't, but cassaways are, even though they look like an ostrich. Yeah. Like Viking Geischicht. Okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. I knew like the last part of it was Geischicht or Geischicht. God damn it. Well, okay, I can't say it separately, but if I say it as a whole word, it works out. But yeah, shoebills are gods. Dude, shoebills are fucking awesome. Cassowaries kill people. Yeah, because of their talons, of their claws. Like, their claws are pretty insane. They're Far Cry 3. Yeah. Yeah, Far Cry 3. I remember it. I remember that shit. I also kind of want to play the 4th and the 5th one a little bit. Well, actually, I have Far Cry 5. What the fuck am I talking about? I have a... Far Cry 5 is actually kind of okay. I just don't like the health bar system. Like, the other Far Cry's didn't have that, and for me personally, it was way better for it. Because now I can't one-shot people. It's like you can't, snipe down range. It's like half the time, it's like, oh, they get like a little health bar. It's like, goes down barely, or goes all the way down, but just to like a nib. I guess 4, it was 1 on 360. Yeah, I had the 4th one. I want to play that one. Because honestly, that one looks pretty interesting. And also, there's kind of a weird, funny, alternate ending where you basically just kind of go there and finish what you're initially going to do instead of escaping and playing the campaign with, like, the resistance fighters and shit like that. So, technically, in a weird way, you can end the game really early. Which is the Christian cult one. Yeah. I've played that one, and they add, like, the whole health bar system and shit, and it's like, eh. I mean, the game's fun. I like playing the game, but, I've had a lot of hours playing on it, but, I don't know. Like, the health bar thing is really what kind of nags me a little bit. Like, I'm okay with that with something like with Fallout or something, but not, at least, with how I remember Far Cry and shit, with the other games, I'm, not really a fan of it. And then there's Far Cry 6, which is basically like a post-apocalyptic version of 5, because it takes place on a similar map. Or I think the same map, actually. You know, where it's the ending where the nukes blow up and nukes fly and shit. Because also, if you listen to the radio in the game, it's like some background lore of, like, you know, major foreign, like, diplomacy going at all-time high tensions and shit, where nukes, you know, potentially are being launched. And also the Christian, like, cult also implied that they have some, but it's never, that's kind of thing. Like, the lore, you know, with, like, the politics, you know, globally, what's going on and shit, you know, is basically, you know, kind of, you know, like, implies, like, are the nukes, you know, the Christian cults, or are they dropping because, you know, all-out nuke war, you know, started? It doesn't necessarily, like, tell you. Well, outside of the cult leader, who basically just, like, does the whole, like, self-fulfilling prophecy of, like, yes, this is the revelations I was mentioning, and blah, 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 and all that shit, because he's a fucking, you know, death cult freak. Latest one's in Cuba. Yeah, I kind of want to play that one, too. I've seen some gameplay footage of it, and it looks pretty fun. I think that's the one where you get, like, a pet crocodile. I just about had big fucking at it. Oh my god, dude. Damn, I gotta save this. Jokes aside, shove it in my mouth. Damn. I guess a lot of Brazilians you would want this. It looks like. This is some, yeah, I've seen it, there's a bunch of different comments in there about it. And then there's this, which I don't know what's going on here. But I think that taco burger is actually real. Because that's a burger patty. I mean, it's not like I guess not necessarily like a full-on taco burger, but, I mean, it's kind of got the format going. And I mean, that's like the format, you know, like to start off a taco burger. Oh, that, yeah. Brazilian steakhouses are dope. They sound pretty dope. They make a Far Cry in Israel, something like that. Oh my god, dude, the controversy that they would fucking unleash. They'd probably get a lot of sales, though. Brazilian steakhouses, they just keep bringing plates of meat until you until you order stop. Well, that just sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. That shit right there just sounds just awesome. Why can't just, like, all, like, steakhouses and just amazing food places just be that way? It's like, here, we're just gonna let you pay just, like, an entrance fee, and then we just, like, unleash food on you. Until you tell us to stop. It's like, I mean, that, like, I mean, I know it's a buffet, but I mean, just, like, you know, all you say, you know, like, or you're like, hey, I want to make sure I have, like, these type of things. And they're like, all right, we're just going to send you these things until you just say stop. They just send you, you know, these nice little plates of, like, different sides, different, you know, meats, different, I promise we'll get on about Catholics, but The child boosts say bring up shit about Mary. Yeah. Which is so fucking dumb. It's like, oh, Mary never talked to God and that and whatever the hell. Yeah, blah 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 blah. You know, because reasons. Oh, that child sexual abuse shit. Yeah, we're not gonna look at that because we tend to do that ourselves too. So you know, it'd be weird if we start calling you out because you call us out, and we don't want that. The Mexican restaurant in Edinburgh, Scotland. Once I remember eating, thinking it's the worst Mexican I've ever had in my life. Well, they're probably using a lot of ingredients that are British in nature, which I can imagine aren't exactly pleasant. Oh my god. Honestly, I would not be surprised that's how some of them fucking justify it too. Maybe not all of them, but at least a good chunk of them probably do. Like, ironically. Scottish Mexican food. That's like covering chocolate cake in dirt. I know. Like, why? Like, why would someone do that? Oh yeah, the loophole. There's always a loophole. If you look hard enough, you can always find one. The best Mexican food I've ever had was actually not Mexico, but Southern California. Mexican restaurant I went in Japan was pretty good. I know I had when I was in Iceland, I remember having like a hamburger and shit that was legitimately pretty fucking banging. And I also remember having a gyro that was from like this Pakistani like kind of like, it wasn't like a full-on restaurant, but kind of like a little diner almost, or you could like order to go and stuff. So if you wanted like a little gyro or some shit like that, you know, or whatever the fuck, you know, you can have one, you know, and order to go, walk around with it. And order one of those, and it was actually legit pretty fucking banging. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the best gyro, but it was up there. It was pretty banging. And yeah, they did actually have a gyro. They had like a, I think it was like a lamb gyro, and had like a few spices in it. It had like the tzatziki, and then it had like a, I think it was like some sort of like a Pakistani spicy sauce or some shit. You know, that, you know, with, you know, different spices that they would use to mix together. Either way, pretty damn good. You gonna try shawarma? Yeah, there's a few food carts in Portland that have shawarma. And oh my god, oh, fucking love it. It's so good. Shit is so banging, son. I love shawarma. Oh. My favorite kind of shawarma? Probably tied between beef or lamb. Some good lamb or some good beef. Favorite Levantine dish is shabibo. Ben shabibo. What the fuck are you doing? Alright, hold on. What the fuck are you doing? What nonsense are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? What in the hell? Oh my god, look at you and your little tail go. What? What is going on over here? What are you doing? Oh my god. You fucking little Fruit Loop. What are you, you little psychopath? Look at that little tail. Oh my god, your tail's a weapon. Stop hitting my legs. Quit trying to back up. Go forward. Come on. You goob. You absolute goober, you. Oh my god. What is up with you? God damn. You're a goddamn goober. You know that? You're a damn goober. Look at you. You're a psychotic mutt. You're a menace. A menace to society. Oh, is this unplugged? No. No! It is! What the fuck? No wonder I'm freezing my ass off in here. Jesus. God damn, bro. Ugh. What the hell? Oh, now what the fuck what? How am I, like, cramming into? Jesus Christ, oh my god. Simber, I know, dude. Like, Jesus. I just want to warm my feet up now. It shouldn't work, you think? With shawarma? I don't know. Kosher kebabs are the best Middle Eastern ones. Oh, wait, hold on. I need to fix this chair. And I'm sure they are, honestly. I don't think I've had Persian style specifically. Oh, I can feel the warmth. Oh, nice. You fuck excuse me? Do you mind? Oh my god. Hey, what are you doing? Little goober. There you go. There you go, little mutt. Little goof. You're just a little goober, you know that? A little goober. You're just a silly little pup, you know that? And I like how most of it's like auditorial like noises are just like just these little, like little moany groany noises. It's just like, oh my goodness, dude. It's like what a little turd. First I'll try how sexual I was when I was like 8 or so, and I was like, what the fuck? Seriously. What? Oh my god. I have a weird feeling that's not like entirely accurate. I feel like there was some hyperbolic nature going on there. The closet I would find was basically a shrimp platter with shawarma sauce, but not a wrap. Well, that sounds pretty good, though. A shrimp platter with some shawarma sauce, and I'm not exaggerating. Oh, my fucking God. God, okay, if Carl is saying he's not exaggerating, he means it. Fucking God, oh my God, well... Started early. And with my boy Chewbacca. Like, out of anything, it had to be my boy. I think the holiday special did some, like, social trauma to people that, like, has telepathically, like, reverberated, you know, into people. So, like, even, like, up-and-coming generations are, like, hit with it. Subconsciously, even if they don't know. It's like a gigantic brown 15 Coke can thick. I mean, is that even canonical? Like, do we even know that? Like, is it like, I mean, I don't think it's like ever been implied, like, you know, what he's packing, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, who knows? Like, I mean, well, God damn it. I swear to God, if there's actual, like, canonical lore about that, maybe Disney had a right to retcon some shit. You know, it's like, you know, honestly, maybe Disney had a right to do that. Because, oh my God. I just don't even want to know. God damn it, I bet there's fucking canon on it. I bet it's fucking, like, there's, like, some, like, expanded canon about that. I'm not clicking that. I am not fucking clicking that. No. 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 I'm about to roll up like a newspaper and like bonk you on the head. I did it with Venom the other night. Do if you two some it's just like God, like I'm not like bruh. Why is like the title of it in the link? It's a Reddit. Why? Oh my God! Of course it's a Reddit. Of course it's a goddamn Reddit. God, the fuck, God, why is it titled that? Why is that? Why is it? I don't. Oh my God, okay. I'm having enough internet for tonight. I think. I think that I think that's what's going on. What are you doing? I'm gonna poke you with a bottle again. Yeah. Blah. You dorky pup, would you get the fuck... hey, Zooks. You goober. What's up? Dude, don't be you're not being serious at that. Busy day?
Huh?
Busy day?
Fuck's day, dude.
Yeah, oh my God.
I fucking sit on my ass and do nothing.
Hmm?
So it would have been nice to sit on my ass and do nothing.
Feeling with that. Today was definitely fucking, insane. Honestly, when it came to shit with work. For context, where has the most attractive accent? I picked Russian. Well, the tag, the link is not there because you didn't spacebar Russian in the link. Got to add spacebar.
Would have been nice to fucking just come home, lay down, and take another nap. Tomorrow's gonna suck too.
I mean, it shouldn't be like too bad. I mean, the first half of the day it will, but like after like 2, a lot of people are just gonna be staying at home. You know, grabbing last second shit. Oh, you little boo boo. You little goober.
Oh, we've got our shit already.
You walls. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. There it is.
I don't know what your dad's planning on doing. I mean, your dad's got a turkey in the fucking fridge. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I have no idea what he was doing.
Might be going to your brother's.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm gonna stay home. I mean, yes, I do want
Yeah.
to see mom, but I'm staying home, dude. We both can come home and have turkey.
Turkey.
And stuffing. And potatoes. You know, cranberry sauce, but I don't care.
Nah, I'm not a fan of it.
I'm a fan of the cranberry jelly. And the ocean spray stuff.
Mostly just like, man, my stuffing, the rolls, and turkey. It was like the holy trinity. Well, I guess mashed potatoes. But the holy trinity. That's what I truly love. Look at you. Look at that little face of yours. Look at you. You little goober. Vienna sausages, yay or nay? Vienna sausages? I like Vienna sausages. I've had it before.
Little wieners?
Yeah. We used to make Smokies, which are basically just like little, you know, little Vienna sausages with just barbecue sauce.
They taste better, sorry.
Hmm?
I'll have to go with Little Smokies and over Vienna sausages.
Well, they're basically just,
They taste better.
I mean, kind of relatively, like, we've always just used like little mini Vienna sausages to just have barbecue sauce with it and stuff, but that's basically just like what Smokies are. But they're pretty good.
Oh, fuck, it was tired as fuck, dude. I was hoping to leave mom's by 1 o'clock, sleep until at least fucking 12, leave at 1 or 2, and then come home and take another fucking nap like I normally do, but yeah.
Yeah.
Michael texted me, and then boss called, and I'm just like, fuck, what does he need?
I like cocktail sausages. Cocktail sausages are made of quality meat with spices.
I'll try a new one. I'll try a new one. Or have you tried it already?
I think you know.
Raspberry green apple.
Oh, the watermelon. Yeah. Well, yeah, I've tried it.
Oh.
I thought you were just offering.
You want some of it?
Well, hold on. Oh, fuck. Okay, so how to turn this go? Is the button on the side?
I don't know. But I don't want to mix it.
Is my little boy in some water over there? Is my little boy in aqua? Somebody some aqua fan? Bonk. Bonk. Get boned, bitch. You goofy boy. Oh my god, you're circling me like a shark. You little fiend. Patience. Oh my god. No patience in you, son. Man, no patience in that little lad. I barely felt it that time. Oh, felt it. Ah. Felt it there.
Oh, Division Vape got broken into.
Huh?
Division Vape got broken into.
Oh, it did?
And $3,000 of product gone.
Ooh, damn. So, well, it's because the Town Mountain service is what the car selling momos, little beef dumplings, best street food in my life. Oh, dude. I've always been a fan of dumplings. I mean, I've had them at restaurants and like food carts, but dude, like full on like a little like baby cart, you know, with just some dumplings. Oh my god, hell yes. Dude, I love me some dumplings. Honestly, like I will just crave dumplings occasionally, and it'll just like pop out of nowhere. Like, I want some damn dumplings. Like, it just pops up in my head every now and then, and it's like, honestly, whenever it does, there's no real like access, you know, to acquire me some dumplings. And it's just like, damn. It's like, I want me some dumplings. I just have a sudden craving for dumplings, and I can't get none. Yeah, being at Hippie Town, there's just spent flags everywhere, Buddhist stuff, and weed and mushrooms. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, there's like a lot of different little like small little towns that can be like that. I remember like in when we stopped in Wyoming, like there's like this I forgot the name of it. It's like near Yellowstone, if I remember correctly, because we were like less than hours away, you know, from Yellowstone at this point. But like its little main street basically had like all these like, you know, kind of, you know, hippie looking, you know, shops, you know, different like, you know, outdoorsy wilderness, you know, type of shops that honestly kind of felt like I was like, in Portland a little bit, weirdly enough, because it felt kind of like, as the outdoors like, you know, shops and shit were kind of like almost like Portlandy, you know, in nature. Like, if that makes sense, like, you know, plaid and, you know, Patagonias and shit like that. So, I mean, there was kind of like a little bit of like, you know, a similar vibe going on. Maybe not like a full-on hippie town, but at least, you know, a lot of the, you know, younger residents, or at least, you know, some of the people that, you know, are more middle-aged and have been there, you know, not as long, I guess, in comparison. You know, probably just because it's a more younger town, you know, and kind of like been booming up a little more. Probably just due to tourism with, you know, Yellowstone and shit. People stopping by, you know, getting snacks and shit. I don't think they ever had really, like, any, like, well, no, they did. It was just, like, one or two, but it was just, like, you know, like, you know, Rocky Mountain style, like, you know, food and shit like that, you know, so, I mean, nothing really out of, you know, ordinary, I guess, you know, so to speak. Fortunately, some billionaire that owns a football team is buying up residential retail property over town, and the locals are panicking and afraid what's going to happen. Oh, with Crested Butte. I mean, it just kind of sounds like what happened with a lot of Portland, honestly. I mean, not like, you know, one billionaire, but like, you know, a rich fuck buying up a lot of different property and shit. I mean, there's just like a whole massive, you know, like bubble and whole like Machiavellian type of like scheme and shit going on, basically, when it comes to the whole housing market. And sadly, you know, Crested Butte just seems to be just another fucking town, you know, you know, at risk of being preyed on, you know, with this type of shit. Especially because it's like a very, you know, hippie dippy type of town and shit. You know, it also kind of makes it a little extra bonus points because, like, ooh, if people move here, you know, and invest and rent here and stuff, then they can, you know, gawk and look at all the locals who are all like hippy dippy looking. while they're renting here for their IT job or some shit. Which I don't know why it'd be an IT job there, but, you know, I mean, hey, you need IT workers out there, too. Hot Noon, Mountain Hippie Town. Used to be a failed Breckenridge and originally Aspen. Seems like they just kind of go from place to place. Once a place gets corporatized or tourist out, like, they all move and migrate to another place. It's like Colorado's Martha's Vineyard. Yeah. It's kind of what I hear about it. Hell, I think even my dad growing up, you know, has mentioned Aspen is kind of like upper crusty a little bit. Because he used to ski a lot. And I think he skied around in Colorado before. If not, I know he's like, you know, had, you know, some opinions about being kind of upper crusty. So, doesn't surprise me. In Nantucket, and they all say the old guard rich locals are absolute cunts to the workers. Of course they are. Because they have their silver spoon and have it made, and they could give a fuck about some low-life surf peasant in their eyes. Like, they don't, you know, to them, why would they care? You know, they haven't earned their keep in their mind. Which I think just on the mere virtue of existing on this ball of rock with everybody else kind of means by proxy you've earned your keep. Because you have to, like, basically suffer with everybody. So, for just fans, I got dumped there. I mean, I will say, at least, like, a lot of the people in Martha's Vineyard that kind of, like, saw that, basically just, you know, helped them out and shit. So, I'll give them that. I thought they'd take him into homes if the cameras weren't rolling. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, either way, I mean, it still shows that, like, the whole idea of, like, oh, these liberals will just, like, you know, be a bunch of newbies and actually kick them out, you know, because obviously, you know, they aren't going to just, like, take them, oh, wait, oop. Like, the whole idea of what, you know, the Republicans were trying to do backfired. But still, yeah. Like, there would definitely be a lot of, like, you know, saying, oh my god, you dirty weirdo, get out of here. You're all dirty and greasy, and you're gonna fucking, like, get dirt in my house. No! You're gonna get weird old ladies like that shit, yeah. But, then, there'd be viral TikToks of a fucking racist weird Karen at Martha's Vineyard fucking freaking the fuck out, because a bunch of Hispanics are busting her fucking neighborhood. So, you know, either way, it would be a lot of publicity. Eventually, there will be some cameras rolling, you know what I mean? Like, you know, because of something or another. Maybe, like, a daughter or, like, you know, some granddaughter of, like, one of the old fucks, you know, starts recording because they happen to be there that day or some shit. Being like, this racist Karen bitch, you know. I mean, I feel like I'm just predicting how just, like, you know, just a fraction, you know, of a hair difference of, you know, an alternate reality somewhere. I'm just, like, describing the alternate reality in that multiverse to a T. It's just a fraction of a hair different, but hey, you know. Yeah, you. You goober. See what I mean? Those weird little noises. It's so funny. You're just a silly boy. Oi. Silly boy. Yeah, you. You're a goober. I'll poke you with a bottle again. Think I'm not afraid to do it? They crash out the cartels. We're cover for you, Fox News. Because, you know, inciting a drug war is, you know, just, you know, because that totally hasn't fallen out of vogue. Well, I guess it hasn't, but, I mean, it doesn't really get talked about that much. I guess if it does, it pretty much, like, evolves more from, like, oh, cocaine, you know, and weed and all sorts of shit, you know, to fucking, like, fentanyl now. Which isn't inherently just fucking cartels that are doing that. Oh, wait, he just said this? This is 5 hours ago? Hasn't he already have said this a bunch of different times? He's always been like, you know, one of these, like, anti-cartel, like, I'm going gun-ho on the, you know, border and blah, 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 blah. Dude, whoa. Dude, there's, like, people actually kind of fucking on him in the comments on this video, dude. I'm pissed because he... Okay, that isn't. Crenshaw and Kissinger enjoying their Disney season passes together. Mud, blood, bear. He's forfeit his first and foremost loyalty is to the World Economic Forum. Rhino, Mitch McConnell supporter. What is he doing less serious watching the border? If it's bad, I have less than zero faith in the Rhino. Dude, they all think this guy's a Rhino. I love how you just said to get off ours, to get lion. What a two-face. What? Alright, Patrick McCain, Rhino King. Dude, everyone's fucking on him in these comments. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. Not that I care about the infighting, I kind of love it. But... wait, something about this, like, comments that he said basically make him a two-faced Rhino now? There's, like, something, I guess, about, like, I really ain't gonna watch it, like, this whole goddamn thing, honestly, but... Alright, buying up land and dry lake beds in the Sonora Desert in northern Mexico so they can get lithium salts for EV batteries. Imagine what they'll start when they start fighting over it. Oh my fucking god. I mean, basically, like, private military companies and, you know, wars that, you know, between that shit will certainly start happening. I mean, honestly, if they already are, I mean, they kind of are a little bit, but they're more or less, yeah.
Toxic waste coming through.
Please don't do anything with that. It's like an expired milk jug, but it's like a little bit of left, but that little bit left kind of plumped that little carton up pretty good. Okay, part of me thought
Jeez, I'm lucky.
Okay, sounded like it didn't pop. For a second, I thought he opened it.
Supposed to land the other way, it landed top up, and the top didn't explode and squirt.
Oh man, well, it looked
out on that one.
I mean, it looked plump, but it didn't look that plump. So, I mean, I think there wasn't enough pressure, methinks. I think you're safe.
You never know. They're making the bottles cheaper and cheaper every day.
Do you like Vishka? Does it have problems? Oh, my Vishka? Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, the only issues I ever have of it are mainly just with magazine feed issues, which are mainly just because they're newer mags, you know, so they haven't, you know, been used that much, so. But, like, the gun itself, yeah, no problems with it. I mean, the first time I used it, there was a little bit, but that was because I haven't gotten it all oiled up yet, but now that she's all nice and oiled, really nice and slick. At least last time I took a shit, it worked like a charm. So on the r/AK subreddit, like I posted like a pic of it and basically got like just like spit roasted by everybody. Outside of like literally like 2 comments. It's like, well, I mean, it's like, it's like the base scheme sounds kind of cool to make it at least aesthetically look a little more pleasing, but it's like work in progress for a first gun, not terrible. And then another one's like, and another one's person's like, I mean, hey, like my favorite, look, but hey, I mean, it's just like, it's like there ain't no reason to be like absolute, like, fucking, shitting on a dude. I like cheap clashes. Yeah. I'm not one of these, like, weirdos that sits on, like, an ivory tower being like, the Kalashnikov has to basically be a photocopy of the factory, made Soviet Union, weapon, or fucking, like, some modern decked out, like, AK that you'd see in Ukraine or some shit. It's like, if it's not anything, if it's not anything in one of those categories, it's like, shitty AK. Mikhail Kalashnikov will slap you or some shit. Like, there's like some weird ivory tower sitting fucks. But the whole AK subreddit is basically that.
A bunch of pots and pans around here somewhere. I got a bunch of food to cook tomorrow, so.
No. Not in here at all. No.
I recall seeing some in the past, but.
Well, I probably put them in the kitchen, and they've probably been used by somebody else. Honestly, they're probably in that pile of. Yeah.
I'm gonna go through the pile and throw crap in the dishwasher so I can make Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow.
Yeah, so that's probably.
We have enough space to do it.
Well, we already have a lot of food too, so. Albania Kalashnikovs are cheap but rare. I'd really want an East German AK, like an actual, like, original one. But obviously those are going to be very fucking rare to find. I think East German SKSs would probably be a little bit easier to find. Even then, those would be very rare. One, Nornico 84S, the Snake Ham, and 223. Basically a Chinese rifle for Fall 3. I haven't really heard good things about Norinco, though. I mean, that's like one thing that universally I do hear about. It's like Norincos usually have like a lot of issues. So, I mean, even, for like an, simplistic, platform and shit, that doesn't really have many issues, and the issues usually are easy to fix. Like, even that tends to have problems. I mean, obviously I haven't fired an Norinco before, at least specifically, but I mean, just from what I've heard, at least, from other people's experiences, it doesn't necessarily seem great. But obviously, like I said, there's a lot of ivory tower sons of bitches out there in gun culture. So there's a lot of people that basically, will say a thing, but kind of have to take it for a grain of salt. Like, because everybody, like, there's a lot of people out there that, don't like Vishkas for some reason. And they would have different, photos and different reasons and showing why, and honestly, a lot of it is just like, sounds like you got like the one AK that was like, maybe not 100%, properly, constructed or some shit, or from my understanding, like at least the Century Arms that makes Vishkas, they actually, kind of had a little baby scandal, about like the quality of some of their firearms, and at least in the last couple of years have significantly improved it. And I've done research about it, because before I got my gun I was doing some research on it, and especially at least from like 2019ish onward, like any reviews for that gun were basically like 45 stars, like straight up. Anything before that was legit about, like, 3 on average, because they'll be like, yeah, there's occasional issues every now and then, but, pretty decent gun, blah, 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 blah. But now everyone, from a lot of reviews I see are like, this fucking thing is awesome. I fired, like, 1,000 rounds in it, it's amazing, and all that other shit. Some people have decked their Vishkas out pretty cool. Like, I've seen different pictures of people's, like, guns that, they will, like, put up, as like review pictures, and it's just like, some people deck their shit out pretty nicely. That's not totally done yet. I want to eventually kind of get it spray painted up a little bit. Because I want to do like a olive green to plum like kind of fade scheme on it, and then have some like forest patterns on it, which I could find by just picking off different brush and leaves and shit, you know, just in my yard. So it wouldn't be hard to find, you know, stencils basically. So. Because then the plum buttstock that I have, and then the olive green forward handguard will kind of blend a little better too. Because with the two colors on just solid, just steel gray, it's kind of a little bit off-putting. But getting it painted up, it'll look a lot cooler. So. That's from my understanding, yeah, spray painting a firearm is honestly not that hard. It's pretty easy. Just hang it up, and then you just literally take some sprayers and just spray it just however you want it. Do a couple layers of that, and then you have to and then there's like one layer of like a finish that you put on the top of all of that, and then let it dry, and then there you go. You're pretty much done. And then you use like blue tape to cover up spots that you don't want painted. And obviously take off any parts that could probably be, you know, removed that you don't want, you know, painted either. And obviously make sure things aren't exposed and shit like that as well. So, you know, obviously a couple caveats to it, but, you know, it's, other than that, it's a very easy process, very simple. The Chinese Type 56 and the Type 59 tank. Oh, the Type 59. Yeah, I like the Type 56 too. I've heard a lot of good things about that rifle. Cause that's pretty much like the Chinese SKS, isn't it? I hate when it's like a type and then a number, and especially when it's like very similar to like another thing. It's like the Type 56, that's the SKS rifle. The Type 54, that's the AK rifle. It's like, god damn it. It's like, fuck. It's like the one thing about, like, names or designations for, like, a thing. It's like, when it comes to, like, the marks or, like, the types, you know, it's like, it's like, it kind of gets harder to remember. It's like the model, you know, year, and then, like, you know, a nickname for the weapon, or usually the event or whatever the fuck. Like the Winchester Model 1890. Like, that's a very easy thing to remember. Like the Type 56, I guess is easy, but, like, I mean, I'm also thinking of other different type, you know, guns that look way different. And it's just like, which one's the Type 56 again? If you told me Model 1890 Winchester, I don't know exactly what you mean, but if you told me Type 56, I'd be like, god damn it, fuck. God damn it, what the fuck I got? False clock, no! Boo! There we go, that's much better. Honestly, you want to know how you really should designate, you know, weapons of war? By the Bob symbol, dude. You just have to, you know, take inspiration with Bob Semple and his tank, and just go forth with that knowledge. You know, and just go forth with that as your inspiration for, you know, advancement in military technology. Like, if you saw the Bob Central tank, you would just you just surrender right then there, like, fuck up. Can't compete with this shit. Honestly, the Bob Semple tank was the most comically absurd thing that has ever been invented by anybody. I guess you could give the Kiwis one thing. They invented a very funny tank that everyone memes to oblivion. Like, it was just so... It was like the most impractical thing in the world. I mean, it had like a top speed of like 2 miles an hour. Like, you could walk faster than the fuck thing, basically. It was on like tractors that were taken from like a farming tractor of some sort. So it like sat super high up. And it didn't have like an actual main gun. It had like a machine gun turn and then like 2 on either side and then like 1 front gun. And the guy who had to sit on the front gun had to sit on top of the fucking engine compartment. So you can imagine how hot that guy must have felt. And how, like, heated he was getting, you know what I mean? And because it was so uncomfortable, and at least the way, and you can get burns, apparently, from laying on the fucking thing, they would have, like, this fat fucking, like, mattress to try to help, you know, not make it that miserable to be in that spot. And the armor didn't do shit. Like, it didn't even protect from small arm fire. It was just like a not even a last-ditch attempt from New Zealand. It was just their attempt. Like, we need to modernize the military. Let's just do this. And it was just meme to oblivion, and oh, gosh, it's beautiful. I love that tank. Like, I unironically and ironically. Like, ironically, I would fear that tank with every fiber of my being, but ironically, that thing was the most clownish piece of shit that ever existed. I would love to see, like, people, like, reproduce those, like, photocopies of those, and basically do, like, little, like, you know, like, stunt battles with them. And just, like, instead of, like, you know, machine guns, just have, like, you know, paintball, like, guns or some shit, like high pressure paintball guns that, you know, will hit the armor, you know, or something. You know, it's like, I just want to see what those would look like in action, you know? I just, like, we just need to be embraced by just, like, you know, just armies of Bob Semple tanks, you know, on either side, just battling it out, dude. I'd love to see it. I think if I was made like in an actual sport, I would unironically watch that. Just everyone makes, like, you know, it's like, make your own Bob Semple and fucking go forth. Should have proved it and tried to turn a self-propelled armored machine gun carrier. You know, honestly, it probably would have worked a little bit like that, probably. I could kind of see it maybe potentially working like that. Like a little mobile machine gun carrier, yeah. They could have improved the design, you know, tweaked it up, changed where the machine gun positions were, and all this other shit. Like, kind of like a machine gun tower, almost. You know, just kind of, like, take the general concept and just, like, you know, do, like, a total improvement on where the engine is and where everything is. Obviously, let it sit lower, and have just, like, this big, like, you know, machine gun land ship, basically. I mean, that actually, you know, like, I mean, honestly, like, I could legit see, you know, like, improvements on the idea, you know, of what they're attempting. If there really was an idea, to be frank. But, I mean, like, honestly, like, I could kind of see it, at least, especially, you know, with wartime efforts, like, if, you know, let's say Japan did invade New Zealand, I could see them at least improving it enough to be at least useful in, like, an armored machine, like, portable machine gun, you know, type of thing. I mean, it wouldn't be able to do anything to their tanks, you know, to Japanese tanks, even though Japanese tanks are pretty much tankettes. I mean, because they still had actual cannons on them. Like, there ain't no way in hell that, you know, machine guns, you know, are gonna fucking stand up to that. Well, unless it has an anti-tank gun on it. Maybe not like a full-on cannon, but like, you know, anti-tank guns, you know, specifically like anti-tank rifles, like that. You know, that, I don't know. There could be, you know, ideas where it could have been improved on. And also the moving the fucking engine. Because again, the design on that thing was just horrible and comical. I don't even want to imagine being in it and being inside that. How would you drive that fucking thing? How would you even, like, I don't even know. I think it's ridiculous. Because I know the engine compartment was basically just, like, in the front center. And then there's a machine gun belly, like seat, basically, like a belly position right there, right on top of it, basically. And then that thing was just so ridiculous. That thing was just comical. You can have 250. Didn't they have Vickers machine guns on it? Like, I thought I already had those on there. Like, not 50 cals, but at least, like, the 30 cal Vickers. I thought they did. Or maybe it was the 303s, like the Lewis guns, yeah, Lewis machine guns. I think those are, yeah, now I think about it, I think that they just basically, like, installed those on there. Called it good. Which, sure, would work. Probably better guns, though. You gotta love just unorthodox ingenuity. Honestly, there's like some pretty weird, you know, experimental like test aircraft and test, you know, machines and shit that, you know, military has done. Not just ours, but just like, you know, a lot of different militaries. Like, I know Italy basically made like the barrel plane or whatever the fuck. That's basically a plane, but its engine and propeller was all like literally like this fat fucking hollow ass fuselage or some shit, and it had like tiny ass little wings and tail section, and it just looked like it just literally looks like something a 5-year-old would draw. Like, I'm not even kidding. But it like took reality. And also there was what was it? It was, the Natter, like as a wonder weapon, you know, the last-ditch effort, like, there was, like, this rocket plane that would be launched vertically, like, kind of like a V2, and then it will, you know, basically quickly go into a, you know, cruising altitude where bombers, you know, altitude usually be, and basically have a bunch of thousands of mini rockets, you know, like, right on the very front of the nose of this thing. And just, you know, and basically just press a button, and then they all just, you know, fly like a bunch of angry fucking bees. And the idea is they fly close enough, you know, to a, you know, dense, you know, position of bombers, and you just launch them all. And the idea is, at least, you know, like a shotgun blast, some of them are gonna hit, you know, at least a bunch of them. You know, you might not necessarily bring, you know, like all the bombers that you hit down, but you're bringing probably at least 1 or 2 down. And I think they're only used as gliders. I don't think it actually ever got to be used as a weapon and as an aircraft in service and shit. It was just only used as for gliders. And I think the pilot who was test flying it died. I think it crashed and the dude died. And it's like, well, that's a great start, you know. That's a great start, you know, to testing, you know, something that's meant to be, you know, like a wonder weapon that's shoddily made. Great start. And also, there's the Volkerwehr too that the Germans made, the VG8. That thing is like almost like kind of like steampunky looking. It looks kind of like a steampunk gun almost, like something you see out of like a steampunk movie or some shit, or like a steampunk video game. I mean, it has like a very like it's kind of interestingly like kind of very like, you know, not well designed, but kind of like nice looking, despite looking very boxy and kind of like rustic and almost like a wasteland gun of some sort. Because it's just literally just a quick makeshift, like stamped metal fucking gun that's just like quickly, shoddily made up really quick. And the whole idea was just, for it to be a single shot or like a burst shot type of weapon, that would be very easy for anybody to really use. Like, it was a very simplistic gun, and that was kind of the whole point of it. I guess theoretically it could technically recreate that. Because it's got a super, super simple design to it. It's kind of like the Sten gun. That's another one, too. That's another one you could technically, probably make, in your own fucking home. That was kind of the idea of the Sten guns. As long as you had, the blueprints or, the instructions on how to make it, you could easily, potentially make one in your home. Well, maybe not, with, just any metal that you have in your house, but when it comes to at least some of the base parts to it, like the body of it and all this other shit, not that hard. Some of the buttstocks for Sten guns were basically literally just coat hangers. That's how easy it was to craft and stamp those type of weapons. At least partisans and citizens who were fighting against the Nazis, they usually had the more makeshift looking Sten guns, but British commandos and shit will sometimes jerry rig them every now and then because they're very easy to work with. It'd be really cool to have a Sten gun, honestly, because like I said, they're very easy to work with. They're pretty simplistic in its design. I just like guns that are very simplistic and historical. Those are my two favorite things about them. Is it simplistic and or historical? 8K, simplistic and historical. Sten gun, simplistic and historical. Tommy gun, complicated, but historical as fine fuck. Not just as fuck, as a fine fuck. So it's just every now and then, sometimes, historicity just overrides all, some guns. Because it's just, a beautiful thing. Honestly, Tommy guns just, if guns can't be sexy, Tommy guns, that. Mob Boss, 50-round drum mag with the fucking, foregrip on the front of his Tommy gun and shit, just sitting there, fast cigar. You can't tell me there's a little bit of, sexy swag going on there. That's sexy, a, mobster swagger going on. It's you can't deny that, there's a little bit going on there. Seems there are little things I can kind of look at on the tube. If there is anything. I ain't really seen much. Boo. Oh, what? Anti-woke bank collapses after 3 months. There was a bank that was anti-woke. What? We thought that was a good idea. I see Candace Owens on a thumbnail. I already. That says everything. That says it all. What a fucking viper, dude. Good lord. Oh, I had a little puffball. That's the roast beef. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let me get this last slice again for you. I'll put some roast beef in your food bowl. How about that? Oh, you just stretched up and went, oh. You sat all you sat straight up and all nice and pretty for this one. Paw. Okay. That's one way to do it. I say paw and he just stares at me and then just like He just pokes. He just does a little poke. Oh, what a little goober. He is just adorable. Just adorable little sweet boy. What would I ever do without you, bruh? What would I ever do without you, Zukov, you silly little goober? And the cat has truly taught you well. There. I think I'll get this last little bowl smoked out here. And kind of see about some food for myself, if anything, here. And also, mainly because I gotta work at noon instead of 2 tomorrow, so that's gonna be fucking fun. Oh, sweet, I get to fucking have to wake up earlier. Yay. Well, I guess that's benefit. Get to close early. The store's closing early tomorrow, so that's gonna be nice. And I get 1.5 space, so honestly, whenever I wake up tomorrow, I'm probably just gonna get right up and just go straight to fucking work. So if it's like 10 o'clock, well, hey, it's 10 then, bitch. That's when I'm showing up. Anyway, well, I should call it good for the last little bit of evening, so peace out. And of course, I'm back around for the next one, so